after finding a woman dead in an alley. A bystander called police about 8:15 Wednesday morning after seeing her near 44th and Garfield in the Washington Park neighborhood. Police reported the woman was naked and also had visible injuries. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner identified the woman as 26-year-old Serena Trotter. Cause of death is yet to be determined.
An egg farm in Palmyra is on fire watch today after a chicken barn was destroyed.
It happened at the Daybreak Foods site on Highway 59 Thursday afternoon. No chickens were inside the barn at the time, and no humans or animals were injured. The building is a total loss. It's unclear what caused the fire, and Palmyra Fire Rescue says there will be a fire watch on the property for the next 2 days. The fire comes as the Jefferson County farm is dealing with bird flu outbreaks, where Daybreak Foods has been forced to cull and compost millions of chickens. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Well, the head of Milwaukee County's Human Resources Department resigns from her job months after one of the county's largest contracts was accidentally allowed to lapse.
While no employees lost health care coverage due to the lapse earlier this year, HR Director Margot Franklin admitted at the time
that was a miss on the Department of Human Resources.
Now Franklin is leaving her position effective May 1st. The county confirmed her resignation to WTMJ Thursday, while adding Franklin had raised concerns prior to her decision that Milwaukee County felt warranted investigation. They declined to say whether that investigation was related to the contract lapse. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The Justice Department has dropped its investigation of Federal Reserve Board Chair Jerome Powell.
Federal prosecutor Janine Pirro announced she's dropping the probe. On social media, she stated instead the Federal Reserve Inspector General will investigate cost overruns for renovations to the Federal Reserve headquarters. The Inspector General has twice reviewed the project and found no wrongdoing. Dropping the criminal investigation helps clear the way for the Senate to confirm a successor to Jerome Powell, whose term as chairman expires next month. The investigation was widely viewed as part of President Trump's effort to pressure Powell to lower interest rates, thereby undermining the independence of the Fed. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
And the Pentagon is touting a blockade the U.S. military is imposing on ships trying to utilize Iranian ports. This includes targeting ships far away from the Strait of Hormuz. At the same time, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is downplaying Iran's seizures of ships. More from ABC's Karen Travers.
There are no imminent talks right now. Nothing is on the books, but notably, Iran's foreign minister is traveling to Pakistan this weekend for what officials say is a regional tour that will also include stops in Oman and Russia. Now, back on that blockade, Iran has said that there will be no talks with the United States until the U.S. lifts the Navy blockade. And of course, the president continues to say that that blockade will stay in place until Iran makes a deal with the United States.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is off about 130 points this afternoon at 49,180. Big day for the NASDAQ, up nearly 400 points at 24,810. And the S&P is up a little over 50 points at 7160. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
We're looking ahead to rounds 2 and 3 of the NFL Draft and what's on tap for the Green Bay Packers. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:04.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Wisconsin weather doesn't ease into spring. It keeps you guessing. That's why your windows and doors need to handle everything. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Now get 0% interest until 2030. That's years of no interest, so you can upgrade now and pay over time. Plus, enjoy a free in-home consultation, expert installation, and a 10-year limited warranty. But order by April 30th. Schedule today at PellaWI.com.
This is WTMJ's Steve Scavini from Point Taken. It's that time of year to recognize the people who go above and beyond for our communities. If you know a first responder, dispatcher, or a healthcare provider who deserves recognition, text SALUTES to 855-616-1620. That's SALUTES, 855-616-1620. Or visit WTMJ.com. Submit your nomination. But don't wait. Submissions close May 8th.
It's Steve Scavini's Salute to Service, presented by Waterstone Bank and sponsored by Mission 94.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Rounds 2 and 3 of the NFL Draft will take place tonight in Pittsburgh. The Packers currently own 2 selections. 8 overall, however. GM Brian Gutekunst never seriously entertained trading into the first round on Thursday.
We didn't really expect for that to happen. To get up into the first round was going to be quite expensive. Certainly, if it wouldn't have been, we may have entertained it, but that never really came.
Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza goes number 1 overall to the Las Vegas Raiders. After dropping 2 of 3 against the Tigers, the Brewers are home for a 3-game series against the Pirates. Paul Skeens and Brandon Woodruff, your pitching matchup tonight. Coverage gets underway at 6:05 on WTMJ.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic on this Friday afternoon. We're not doing too bad. No crashes to report. I like that. We are seeing slowdowns in our construction zones right around the ballpark on 94 eastbound and westbound. Also on 4145 north. Nothing new there. The only other issue we have, and in most cases not causing an issue though, some disabled vehicles. In the Sheboygan area, we have one spot that is still kind of interesting here. I-43 north at Wisconsin 42. Right shoulder is blocked. DOT is reporting a disabled vehicle. I went into the camera system to pop it up and see what was going on. There's actually 3 vehicles off to the side of the road right now, and it's not like one is an emergency responder. So we've got 3 cars, for whatever reason, off to the side. That's I-43 up in the Sheboygan area. I-43 north at Wisconsin 42. Also, heads up on this one as well, closer to the Milwaukee area. I-94 west, about a mile and a half beyond the ramp from Highway 100. Right shoulder is blocked because of a car that's broken down there. It's a tight spot. I don't see any slowing because of it, but heads up, you do have a car that's broken down right there on I-94 west, about a mile and a half beyond the ramp from Highway 100.
Slight chance of rain today, breezy high of 68. Clouds roll in tonight or continue tonight, and a low of 43. Mostly sunny on Saturday, high 65 inland, 58 near Lake Michigan. Sunday, very similar conditions. It's currently 67 and cloudy in Milwaukee. At 12:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Todd.
Oh, we have got a packed show here for a Friday, taking you into the weekend here on Wisconsin's Midday News. Dr. Ben Weston joins us in studio for our weekly wellness check. Double D, Donald Driver, the Packers Hall of Fame wide receiver, will join us in the 2:30 hour. He is trying to support the growth of girls flag football here in the state of Wisconsin at the high school level. We'll talk to him about what draft night was like for him back in the late 90s.
Oh, the memories.
And great guy to catch up with. We are off and running here on a Friday edition.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
New at noon, the Justice Department says it's restarting federal executions and going further than before. Under a directive from President Trump, the DOJ is ending the Biden-era pause, bringing back lethal injection, and now allowing other methods, like firing squads. Officials say they're also speeding up death penalty cases once appeals are done. So far, the department has approved pursuing capital punishments in dozens of cases. The DOJ is framing this as a move to crack down on the most serious crimes and deliver long-promised justice to victims' families. While federal executions are different than state executions, some of you might be hearing death penalty and wondering about Wisconsin. Wisconsin does not have the death penalty. We got rid of it here back in 1853.
A fresh wave of layoffs set to hit the United States corporate sector. Meta, Microsoft, and Nike all announcing sweeping job cuts and buyouts.
Meta is laying off more than 8,000 employees, about 10% of its workforce. Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, has been ramping up spending on artificial intelligence. Microsoft is offering early retirement buyouts to roughly 7% of its U.S. employees as it invests more in AI. And Nike is also cutting jobs, laying off 1,400 workers, mostly in its tech department.
The move is expected to eliminate nearly 25,000 roles in these companies as they seek to restructure their workforce amid the AI boom. Layoffs not expected to be spread out over the course of several weeks or months either. It's going to happen. With Nike specifically, it's supposed to be around the end of May, but significant job cuts here as they all lean into AI.
Heads up, parents. A nasty virus is spreading quickly among kids.
Like the awful norovirus, rotavirus causes vomiting, diarrhea, fever, and exhaustion. But rotavirus usually lasts longer, and it's more of a problem for children. It can even lead to hospitalization. Cases are on the rise this spring, according to the CDC, and some states are seeing a resurgence in wastewater testing. Rotavirus can be prevented, or at least the symptoms weakened, with a vaccine, which most children get as babies.
That's ABC's Sherry Preston. I looked up some data on rotavirus here in Wisconsin this morning. State data showed a significant spike in rotavirus back in March. Then our cases went down, but now they're going back up. Rotavirus primarily impacts babies and young children, but there have been outbreaks as well in elderly populations in places like nursing homes. Experts say declining childhood vaccinations and post-pandemic rebound are fueling that outbreak.
It is 12:12 here on WTMJ, 67 degrees and cloudy. Our weekly wellness check with Dr. Ben Weston after this on WTMJ.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Our master closet at home was an absolute mess. It was cluttered. It was a source of stress. We wanted to keep that door shut. Had a big clunky dresser and some builder-grade racking. It was really not a great situation. It had become a mess. Even after we cleaned it, it felt like we were back to clutter in a matter of days. Well, no longer the case, thanks to Inspired Closets Milwaukee. What an unbelievable job they did in developing and designing our new master closet. It's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, beautiful LED lighting. We've got a spot and multiple spaces for everything. Got a beautiful dresser that's sort of built into the closet, which I love, with a nice tabletop. Electricity running through our closet right now, which we kind of needed for stuff that we do. It's Inspired Closets Milwaukee. They will listen to you. They will design a solution to remove the clutter and remove the stress from your life. For us, it was a master closet. For you, might be the same thing. Could also be a pantry or a laundry room, maybe a linen closet, really anything that needs an organizational touch. And decluttering falls right into the world of Inspired Closets Milwaukee. Let them design for you something similar. It's Inspired Closets, a wife and husband team right here in southeastern Wisconsin, servicing you and anybody who lives in a cluttered world. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Where you live matters. Searching for assisted living can bring a lot of questions and a lot of emotion. At the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, we believe you need a clear, complete picture without pressure. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association on whereyouLiveMatters.org, a one-stop destination with unbiased information to help you understand your options and connect directly with providers in your area. No confusion, just tools that help you take the next step with confidence. Start your research today at whereyouLiveMatters.org.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
In an overnight session, the U.S. Senate passed a $70 billion spending resolution to fund the Department of Homeland Security.
Eric Billstad.
An online extremist network known as 764 is gaining concerning momentum here locally.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
Got some delays southbound on 41, starting from Silver Spring all the way down to Capitol.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
Well, pretty comfortable temperatures today. A little more cloudy than sunny, however. Little chance of rain as well. High of 68 degrees. Overnight low 43 as clouds roll in. Tomorrow, eventually sunny and a high of 65. Sunday looks exactly the same. Should be a nice weekend. It's 68 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:15.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
And it's time for a weekly wellness check with Dr. Ben Weston, Associate Professor of Emergency Medicine at the Medical College of Wisconsin and Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County, joining us in studio today. Hi, Dr. Weston.
Good to be with you in person.
You just came in for ramen, right? And to decide, oh, yes, I forgot I had to join the radio show. Oh, geez.
Ramen and sushi.
And sushi. Well, it is a good call, no doubt about that. Hey, I saw earlier this week, Milwaukee County officials, including yourself, Dr. Weston, had some new details and new data to share regarding opiates in Milwaukee County. What is behind the opioid crisis, first of all, and what is starting to turn the tide?
Yeah, so as we know, opioids are prescription drugs. They're often used to treat pain, severe or persistent pain. They're very effective for a lot of people. If you're recovering from a procedure, if you have cancer-related pain, but the downside is they're also highly addictive. And in high doses, they can even slow or stop a person's breathing, which can, of course, lead to overdose. Now, there's a lot of history to this. In the 90s, OxyContin was introduced. They said it was safe. It wasn't addicted. Turns out it was wrong. And now it's over 6 million people aged 12 and older have opioid use disorder.
Wow.
We kind of hit a peak back in 2023 with 80,000 overdose deaths in the U.S. And at that time, we were at somebody dying in Milwaukee County every 16 hours from an overdose.
Wow, those numbers are startling. I know Milwaukee County has been doing a lot to address this. Can you highlight some of the things the county has done over the years?
Absolutely. We've worked really upstream and downstream. So upstream, we're talking about things like stable housing, like easy, accessible transportation, and access to healthcare, particularly mental health care. But there's also been a ton of work to address the crisis head on downstream. That's harm reduction, it's naloxone, it's medication-assisted treatment in the streets rather than in a clinic. And through all this layered strategy, we've seen incredible improvement, actually a 54% decline. Beating the national average is a 54% decline in opioid overdoses in our community.
What else does the data show? We're still obviously collecting here in 2026, but the most recent set of figures you're able to look at.
Yeah, so we're making real progress. We're seeing an overall decline in opioid-related deaths, but the fact of the matter is it's not enough. We still have somebody dying almost every single day of an opioid overdose. So it's not time to end the work. It's time to look at what works and really scale that up and have the maximal impact that we can.
I think it was just a couple of days ago we had it in the news about opioid settlement funds being used to support certain programs like PATH for at-risk individuals. What is the PATH program exactly?
Yeah, so PATH stands for Pre-Post Access to Treatment and Healing. It's a program that intervenes with folks in Milwaukee County who are at really high risk. So people who are either about to enter or at risk of entering incarceration, or those who are just out of being incarcerated. So we get these referrals from the district attorney, the sheriff's office, the community reintegration center, and can have our fire department, specially trained paramedics, go and meet one-on-one with those folks to offer resources and help them to make sure they don't overdose in that high-risk period.
Is that considered a high-risk segment of the population, those who are just getting out of being incarcerated?
Yeah, absolutely. That post-incarceration, even just those first few days, are a really tenuous period for people. As you can imagine, they're facing challenges, not just with potential opioids, but with housing, with transportation, with employment, healthcare access. And for a lot of folks, especially if you have a history of substance use, that can mean turning back to it and that high risk of overdose.
For people in Milwaukee County coping with opioid use disorder or maybe other mental health conditions, the Comprehensive Community Services Program can provide additional supportive services as they work towards recovery. What kind of support does CCS offer?
Yeah, so we know that for folks with opioid use disorder, about 36% of them also experience depression. And about 30% of them experience anxiety. And so that's why here in Milwaukee County, we take this combined approach. We want to treat mental health as well as substance use. And that's what this Comprehensive Community Services Program is all about. It offers services like therapy, like medication management, peer support, wellness activities, skill building support. But most importantly, people can choose what supports, what resources, what providers are going to work best for them.
So then you're not navigating this alone, right? So you've got somebody, you've got multiple resources at your disposal, people you can lean on, conversations you can have. Is that the idea?
That's exactly the idea. So you get connected up with this care coordinator, and that's really their main point of contact. And then they can work together to build a recovery plan based on the participants' goals, which may include treatment. It may be housing or employment or overall wellness. And they can get connected to the right services, support their progress over time, and make sure that the plan continues to reflect their needs and adapts to resources that are most valuable.
Dr. Weston, as long as we have you here, a story that's coming up in our next hour, new data from the CDC shows. It just came in last night, and I was like, whoa, looking at some of the numbers, that weekly emergency room visits for tick bites are higher than usual now. In fact, they're the highest for this time of the year since 2017. So almost 10 years. I'm just curious, as you're in the ER, it seems early, but it makes me concerned about what we have to come. And are you surprised by this with what you've seen over the years?
Yeah, it seems maybe a little bit on the early end, but I just came in from outside and it's beautiful outside.
Yeah.
And so when we see this warmer weather early on, we certainly see ticks more and more. Now here in Wisconsin, we're actually starting to see ticks year round. Of course, we see certain peaks and valleys, but with the mild winters that we often have, ticks can really be there all year round. And so this is the time of year when we see the most tick-type illness and tick bites certainly coming into the emergency room. But it can really be any month of the year.
Yeah, I didn't like those numbers. And you talk about, for so many years, we've talked about Lyme disease and Rocky Mountain spotted fever, but now you add in that alpha gal syndrome to the mix, and that's scary stuff.
Right,
especially for people who like red meat.
That's right. There's so many tick-borne illnesses out there. Obviously, Lyme's disease is kind of front of mind. That's one of the most common, especially here in Wisconsin. But if you've been bit by a tick and you're having those sort of symptoms, that is definitely a time to see your healthcare provider.
You know, I don't know if you've ever seen them really downtown, Jessica, where you live, but
They are downtown, too. I wish they weren't.
It just feels like there's a progression. Like if you're to all the ticks alive on this planet and reduced to Wisconsin, as you get out to the burbs and a little more rural areas, you're likely going to find them more. I often jokingly with my wife say, if you ever need something on a resume, put expert tick finder, because she finds them all of the time on our dog, and I immediately get concerned. It's like, that's okay, we got it, it's taken care of. But they're so small, it's easy to miss. And you're out playing in the yard, just throwing the ball around, or with the family doing something, and all of a sudden you've got a little itch, you don't know what it is, and the tick is embedding itself into your ankle. It's like, geez, yeah. It is crazy how quickly it happens, and how you may not notice it until it's already done its work.
That's right. And for us, it's fairly easy to avoid, right? You wear long pants, or you take a look after, you avoid, walking through the woods or through tall plants. But for kids, for dogs, it's really hard. And so that's why doing those checks, and this is a great time of year to really ramp those up, because the tick bites are ramping up, to be really careful with dogs and kids watching for ticks.
Is that primarily a Midwestern issue? For example, are ticks an issue in Arizona or Florida or other areas like that?
Yeah, certain parts of the country are definitely hotspots. We're one of them, but there are other areas of the country with similar type climates where they definitely are seeing ticks as well. But Wisconsin has some of the top tick rates in the country.
When I was mentioning this to Greg this morning, I said, I'm kind of surprised that people go to the ER for tick bites. I guess maybe because my husband, when he's had one, has kind of taken care of it himself. And then when I saw one a couple times on my dog over the years up in Door County, we were able to take care of that. And then I did take the dog to the vet. But is the ER the spot to go?
That's a good question. I mean, is the ER the spot to go for a lot of different illnesses? Yeah. For a lot of folks, they don't have other healthcare access, or they're not sure how to access other areas of healthcare. So the ER often is the default place to go. Not that that's the right thing, but because of the system we function in, it ends up being the only thing that they have access to. But for most people, or not even most people, but people who have access to healthcare, I would say your primary care doctor is a great resource. Urgent cares are a great resource. Some people get really sick with tick bites, and of course, then the emergency department is the right place. But usually there's a lot of steps before then to get it figured out.
Always great information from Dr. Ben Weston, Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County, also the Associate Professor of Emergency Medicine for the Medical College of Wisconsin. Great to see you in studio.
Yeah,
we appreciate it. Have
a
great weekend.
You as well.
It's 12:24 here on WTMJ. We got news coming up in a few.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods has a great reputation for producing custom team apparel. We're total team outfitters, and we can handle the biggest jobs. Our success in custom team apparel led us into group and corporate apparel. Plus, we have a full selection of promotional products for employee gifts, special events, you name it. And we've made it easy for our customers to firm up their orders. The group sale web stores that we build for our customers are a simple way of gathering all the information you need. They're easy to work, easy to understand, and with them you'll have access to nearly limitless options. We've seen that most times we're better priced than our competition on the same high-quality apparel choices that the other guys offer. Plus Nike and Under Armour choices that the other guys can't get. And we offer a huge brand selection from Yeti, North Face, and Carhartt too. This is Brian Burkhart. For team, group, or corporate custom outfitting and promotional products, it's going to be really hard to beat our prices, selection, and ease of buying for any size budget and every size company. And that's why we always say,
You can't beat Burkhart.
April is Sleep Awareness Month. Jessica Ty here for Steinhoffels. Invest in the sleep your body deserves and get $300 in Steinhoffels cash with a Tempur-Pedic mattress purchase. At Steinhoffels, experience the unmatched comfort and support of Tempur-Pedic mattresses designed to adapt to your body and help you wake up feeling refreshed. Upgrade your sleep experience when you add a smart base that automatically adjusts to snoring, because better nights lead to better days. Celebrate Sleep Awareness Month and sleep better. Relax. It's Steinhoffels.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzik households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP Smart Side siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. One of our senior loan consultants recently helped their first-time homebuyer client win over 13 other offers. Of course, it was a team effort with their buyer's agent, and it centered around helping our clients understand what little difference there was to their monthly payment to offer over the asking price. And again, what little difference it would make to give the sellers peace of mind that they'd still buy even if the appraisal came in up to $20,000 short. But that's not all. Our consultant also texted and called the listing agent to reinforce how well qualified our buyers were and that they could in fact still close even if the appraisal came in low. Your Accunet consultant will help you understand your options so you can decide how aggressive you want to be. Then we do everything possible to help you win. Don't let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Know your options and get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Take your family to the amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford for the all-you-can-eat Wednesday and Friday haddock fish fry for $8.99. Wow. You'll pay twice that elsewhere. Desserts or buy one, get one free. Google The Mineshaft. Call and reserve your table, The Mineshaft.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, April 24th. Your top story, getting prison time for killing his toddler.
I'm Jessica Ty, shifting the focus from tragedy to safety training.
Slight chance of a shower today, breezy, high 68 degrees. Clouds continue tonight at a low of 43. Sunny on Saturday, high of 65 degrees inland, little cooler near the lake. Same forecast on Sunday.
ABC News, I'm Mike Tabusky. Peace talks with Iran are now back on for this weekend in Pakistan, according to White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner will be traveling to Islamabad tomorrow morning for another round of talks. It comes as Iran's foreign minister is expected to visit Pakistan tomorrow.
We've been hearing from Iranian state media that the foreign minister from Iran, Abbas Araghchi, is going to begin a regional tour this evening, and the first stop on that tour is expected to be Islamabad, and that news comes amid hope that here in Pakistan that talks on a potential ceasefire, a potential peace deal in Iran could be revived.
ABC's Marcus Moore officials tell ABC News it appears very unlikely that Vice President J.D. Vance would be involved in any travel, at least initially. And the Department of Justice investigation into supposed cost overruns during renovations at Federal Reserve headquarters has now been dropped. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 12:31. A man from Milwaukee will spend the rest of his life behind bars for the murder of his son. Ralph Taylor found guilty of first-degree intentional homicide for shooting 4-year-old Ralph Taylor III in July of 2025. Taylor telling the courtroom,
The outcome of the trial, I do still proclaim my innocence. I didn't murder my boy. I didn't do that. But I am responsible for it because I put him in a situation that wasn't safe. That's something I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life.
Judge David Borowski sentenced the father to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The child's mother, Cassandra Taylor, is charged with child neglect. She's due back in court next month.
A family in Sussex is turning a tragedy into action.
It is such an unspeakable loss.
5-year-old Finn Katona was killed last year when he was struck by a school bus outside of his school. The Katona family has reached a confidential monetary settlement with the school district and bus company. But attorney Timothy Trechik says the family's focus is now on safety improvements, including a new initiative which aims to prevent similar tragedies.
Finn's rule will incorporate enhanced safety training for all Student Transportation of America bus drivers nationally, which encompasses approximately 23,000 drivers.
The new safety training is expected to roll out later this year. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
The State Department of Education approves a grant to provide classroom support to Milwaukee Public Schools. MPS Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselius says to expect job openings after the district eliminated over 200 non-classroom positions.
Nearly half of the folks who are in those current positions will be eligible to apply for those 100 positions that we'll have across the district that will work specifically on literacy instruction and also help our students who are special education get the services that they need, and students who are bilingual.
Caselius tells our partners at 1017 The Truth there will be around 100 positions.
New alignments for high school athletic conferences are now finalized across southeastern Wisconsin.
The Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association has approved a new round of conference realignment changes impacting schools across the state. Several Milwaukee area teams are included. Sussex Hamilton will move to the Classic 8 while Franklin shifts into the Greater Metro Conference. Menominee Falls and Germantown are heading to the North Shore Conference, and Grafton will join the Glacier Trails Conference. Other changes include schools moving conferences in sports like wrestling, hockey, and golf. The WIAA says these updates are part of its ongoing effort to balance competition statewide. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
And drivers approaching the Mitchell Interchange this evening will run into a work zone built around a full ramp paving job.
This closure is set up so we can do echelon asphalt paving, giving crews the full work zone to do a full width paving the entire length of that ramp.
The DOT's Eric Hansen says that setup also narrows traffic on southbound 94 as drivers head toward the interchange.
To facilitate this system ramp closure, we do have double right lane closures on the I-94 southbound movement from Howard Avenue to the Mitchell Interchange itself.
Those lane restrictions are scheduled to run through the weekend and should be open by 6 a.m. on Sunday. Debbie Laziga, WTMJ News.
We're driving into sports, traffic, and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
2026 Brewers Group tickets are on sale now, and planning your next event at American Family Field has never been easier. Whether it's a company outing, family reunion, or night out with friends, bring your group of 15 or more to the ballpark and enjoy up to 25% off single game tickets with no service fees. All Brewers home games are available now. Start planning today, and a Brewers Group ticket rep will handle the rest. But hurry, tickets are moving fast. Plan your 2026 outing at brewers.com/groups.
There's not not a bad time to better insulate your home, but there is a better time, and it's right now. Vince Vitrano here just talked with Jeff from USA Insulation. Jeff says they always get busy in the fall and early winter as everyone's concerned about keeping their houses warm. But doing a project with USA Insulation does just as well to keep your house cooler in the summer months and saving you money on your electric bills. Tell Jeff Vinny told you want the government rebates and discounts that can save you thousands on your project. Get started at usainsulation.net.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Rounds 2 and 3 of the NFL Draft will be conducted tonight, and the Packers own 2 selections, one in the second round, one in the third. GM Brian Gutekunst never seriously entertained trading into Thursday's first round.
We didn't really expect for that to happen. To get up into the first round was going to be quite expensive. Certainly, if it wouldn't have been, we may have entertained it, but that never really came.
As it stands, the Packers' first pick is number 52 overall. Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza goes number 1 overall to the Las Vegas Raiders. After dropping 2 of 3 against the Tigers, Brewers are back home for a 3-game series against the Pirates. Paul Skeens and Brandon Woodruff, your pitching matchup tonight. Coverage gets underway at 6:05 on WTMJ.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Heads up in our construction zones. The delays are getting heavier, getting a little bit longer. It's taking longer to go through on 94 eastbound and westbound around American Family Field. Nothing new. It's just the construction, but it's getting heavier on this Friday afternoon. Same thing for 4145 north around the Mayfair area. That's looking a little heavier as well. Also, 4145 south, I'm seeing some delays too, right after Silver Spring Drive. It looks like by the time you get to Burleigh, it's clear, but heads up there in case you're in that area. Other than that, we just have a few disabled vehicles, and most of them aren't causing any issues.
Slight chance of a shower today. More clouds than sun. High 68 degrees. Breezy conditions. Mostly cloudy tonight. Low 43. Saturday, Sunday, carbon copy days. Mostly sunny skies. 65 inland, 58 closer to Lake Michigan. It's 68 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:38.
There's something about the way you do make the truth sound smooth, like a 90s groove. I'm caught up in your rhythm, baby. Like falling, ooh yeah. You got me feeling some type of way.
12:38ish on a Friday. Time to check in with our favorite Chief Washington correspondent from the Midas Touch. It's Scott McFarland. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Greg. Hey, Jess. The acoustics are not perfect in the Capitol. I think that's Joe, who's one of my favorites from the 90s.
Joe? Joe?
I think you gotta listen closer. You gotta little
Can
closer.
we play that again, Gina?
Restroom full, but you stand alone. Calm and the fire setting in the tone.
Okay, it's somebody ripping off Joe if it's not Joe.
Okay. All right. Pot it down for a second, Gina. Pot it down for a second. Can you pick up what he's... Just listen very closely here.
Nobody does it like
He may have mispronounced the last name a little bit. Does that help you out, Scott?
This is a deep cut. I like this song. I'm gonna buy this song, so tell me what it is.
Nobody does it like McFarlane. It's AI generated 90s R&B featuring our favorite Chief Washington correspondent. It's you, buddy.
Let me tell you, AI is you. I love it.
It's catchy, isn't it?
AI has ripped off Joe to make this happen. Let me tell you, that's Joe's voice. but I like the song, and I am going to buy it from AI or from whomever.
I think we'll give it to you for free, Scott.
This was created in the lab today, and then we ultimately end up doing some serious work at some point of our prep.
But let me ask you this, Scott, because we have not asked you this. How do you feel about AI? Because it's polarizing. How do you feel about it, and do you use it?
So we use it for technological things, for technical things, like helping with lighting, helping with acoustics, helping with production. I would never let it touch the editorial process, because once you do, I think you lose a lot of credibility with people. Once they know you've even flirted with AI as part of your writing or research or reporting. So I think from a technical side, you can make Joe's voice come out of an AI song, but I don't think you want to have him writing the lyrics.
Oh, very good point. Hey, for this weekend, do you have to get the tuxedo out? Do you get fitted? Do you have your own tux for the White House Correspondents' Dinner? Do you go to this? Is this something you'll be at tomorrow?
I've been to it many times. I was actually the voice of it in 2024.
Really?
I was the voiceover announcer for the event. The last one for President Biden. If you watched it back on YouTube, you'll hear me doing all the introductions. I would rather have a Swanson's Hungry Man dinner and watch Seinfeld reruns than go to this thing now.
Oh my gosh! Now, is that because of President Trump, or is that just because of the dinner itself?
Both. Let me explain how stupid this thing has become. It's an opulent, self-reverential gathering in which people go to get their photos taken. It's like prom for adults, and it's over the top in a way that those of us who grew up blue collar, those of us who grew up in small towns, this ain't really our thing. And the problem there is that this is supposed to be a First Amendment dinner to support student journalists and get scholarships and underwrite the future of journalism in America. I don't think the opulence and self-reverential, self-indulgent nature of this really corresponds with helping kids and helping students. What's more, it's become uniquely political this year. Not mattering which party you're in, but you've got the defense secretary with a prominent perch. The defense secretary is literally being sued in federal court by the media for a policy for press that was so onerous, it kicked out the reporters who covered the Pentagon during a time of war. The president has sued ABC, CBS, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and exacted some very large settlements with nonsense cases. I think that doesn't correspond with championing the First Amendment either. I think it's a distraction from the kids. I think it's a distraction altogether. And, oh, by the way, it's like the worst of the rubber chicken circuit. There's like 2,000 people in a room, so crowded you can't even go to the bathroom, and you have to just get stuck at your table for 4 hours. It ain't cool.
Well, and it's no longer a roast either, right? They've got Oz the Mentalist as the featured entertainer. I'm not sure exactly why, but it's got a different feel than, or will have a different feel.
I can help you with that. I can tell you why.
Please do.
The president, to secure his attendance, negotiated no comic so that nobody would be dunking on him all night. The comics in the past have always picked on the president. Stephen Colbert famously picked on George W. Bush hard. He actually got some pushback for it. Colin Jost picked on President Biden in 2023, and it's pretty funny. But that being said, there'll be no comic this year, and I think that's part of what we're talking about, where there was some type of negotiation that the White House exacted concessions for him to attend. All of that is a distraction, Republican or Democrat. That's not what this is supposed to be about, and I think the rest of America kind of hates that this thing even exists and is so self-aggrandizing of the media, which are not supposed to be focusing on themselves.
Well, I will tell you, as a journalist, in the past, I have watched it, and I got a kick out of the comics, and I also got a kick out of seeing how the presidents respond. I've enjoyed when one of the comics, is just cracking on the president, and they're in good spirits, and they're laughing along, too. So I'm going to miss that part. I will not be tuning in for The Mentalist myself. But do you think, or why do you think that President Trump decided to go this time? Because in the past, he said, I'm not going to that.
Well, he's gotten some concessions, right? I mean, some of what may have been a turnoff in the past may be off the table. Like, he's not going to get, roasted by a comic. There's not going to be, a series of speakers, all of whom, kind of jab him and poke him. And I think he's making this argument now that he has so managed to leverage media organizations that he's comfortable breaking bread with them. I don't know if that's a good thing, but that's nevertheless, I think, what's happening here. But also, respectfully, I'm the kind of guy who wants to come home, plop on the couch, watch a baseball game, watch a movie with my wife, have a cocktail, eat some popcorn. This thing is like a 6-hour dedication of time, and you're sitting there with a bunch of people looking over your shoulder to talk to the next person who walks into the cocktail party.
Yeah.
Not my scene.
Understood.
Scott McFarland joining us from the nation's capital. So we spoke to one of your former colleagues earlier this week, Linda Kenyon, about Vance Watch in the nation's capital. Is he going to Pakistan? Is he not? Well, it appears as if peace negotiations or potential peace negotiations are back on the table in Pakistan with Iran coming to the table, but Vance is not leaving the nation's capital. So what's going on here, Scott?
There may be some diplomatic strategy here to being unpredictable. It's going to be Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner who go for the next set of negotiations, or maybe you trade out negotiators to make progress. That's all possible. I think J.D. Vance's last appearance at the peace negotiations was less than a day. And let me tell you, that's not typically how peace negotiations are, where you treat it like a one-day job and go home at the end of the day like somebody who is working at a warehouse. I don't know if it was ineffective, if it was a message, but there's also the possibility here, Greg and Jess, that the administration is trying to be fluid and loose so that they can, they can see who's the best person in the room, who's the best person at this moment with these people. You gotta stay nimble. You can't be stubborn and just keep sending the same guy if the same guy's not making progress.
Some people are suggesting that Iran would be more willing to come to the negotiating table if President Trump made the trip himself. Is there evidence to support that, or is that just speculation, thinking, well, if the president goes, sure, he's got more power, maybe we could get a deal done?
Feels like leverage they're trying to apply. It feels like they're trying to push and push. They have some levers they can use and, try to demand President Trump be there in person, which may or may not be something that's wise, is a technique. I think they're showing, though, Jess, they've been pretty good at pushing the levers. I mean, if the president gave this indication, this was going to be a 5 to 6 week, in his words, excursion in which the U.S. has so much might and so much firepower, they're going to knock Iran into submission. Doesn't look like they're in submission. So when they come out and say, send Trump himself, I think they're trying to show they're not in submission.
Hey, Scott, before we let you go, I see the Justice Department today announced they're shutting down the investigation into Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. What's the significance of this?
The investigation into him was always a mystery because there's been no even inkling of any criminal activity with this overrun of cost in the reservations of the Federal Reserve building. Now, Trump has been fanning flames, claiming there may be something sordid happening there. There's not. The Department of Justice followed the direction of Trump and launched this investigation. Today they announced they're dropping it. There's just nothing there. They say they'll restart it if facts become available. Facts change. The politics are pretty clear, though. Trump's new nominee to be the Federal Reserve Board chair was not going to get a vote, not going to be approved until they dropped this thing. A Republican senator stood up and said, no, this is bogus. Until this is dropped, I'm not going to confirm Kevin Warsh. The administration read that play a mile away. And I want to be clear on two things. First of all, I'm not dissing Swanson Hungry Man dinner. Those are awesome. That's a dinner of choice, not a dinner of necessity. And the AI song with Joe's voice, I'm gonna need Gina to send me a copy of that.
She's on
and I'm
it.
gonna play it for the family.
Nobody does it like
That is true. By the way, Swanson recommends you preheat your oven to 350, and you got to cut a slit in that film over the chicken. Put it on a cookie sheet. If you're going to do microwave, you got to vent the film, Scott. You got to vent the film.
Be careful, though.
Very
Who
important
is
step.
turning on the oven for that? Isn't everybody microwaving it? I mean, come on.
I think so.
Who's still microwaving it? I'm surprised. I haven't had one of those in 20 years.
40 to 50 minutes in the oven, but 4.5 minutes in your microwave. Scott, you have yourself a great weekend. Enjoy the NFL draft while you're having that hungry man. There you go. That's some fun activity for the weekend.
That's where I'll be tomorrow.
All right, pal. We'll take
Thanks,
care.
Scott.
We'll talk to you next
Thank
week.
you.
Scott McFarland joining us from the Midas Touch from the nation's capital.
Yeah.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know you do things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can find the same trusted products you want and need at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Right now, during our spring footwear event, Skechers are buy one, get one half price. Crocs, clogs, and sandals start at $34.99. Plus, stock up for spring fishing with Rapala lures, jigs, and plastic baits. All buy 3, get 1 free. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Wisconsin's hometown pizza is Palermo's. That sounds just about right. Any time of the day or night, it's Palermo's. When it's on the table, I'm telling you, your family is going to be happy. $4.25 in the oven about 20 minutes later, and you'll be enjoying a fresh, piping hot Screamin' Sicilian or a Connie's or maybe an urban pie. How about the Stranger Things pizza? That's also delicious, and it's all made by Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza. If you're stopping off at the store tonight, getting stocked up for the weekend, make sure to hit up the frozen food aisle. And you'll find Palermo's frozen pizza at Festival Foods, Pick and Save, Piggly Wiggly, Sendik's, Woodman's, you name it. Wherever you like to shop, you will find it. Enjoy and support local while eating great with Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
Hey, remember when your basement was just for storage? WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. With Matrix Basement Finishing, they turn that empty space into the heart of your home. It's what they did for us. Whether it's a cozy family movie night or cheering on your favorite team during the best time of the year to watch sports. From the design consultation to picking out your perfect flooring and fixtures, the process is seamless and done at your home. Get the quality craftsmanship you deserve with no payments until 2028. And visit matrixbasements.com.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here. You know I'm obsessed with all things royal, so we're rolling out the red carpet to personally invite you on the British Crown experience with Fox World Travel and Insight Vacations. We're talking about the changing of the guard, the crown jewels, high tea, Stonehenge, Oxford, the full royal treatment. This isn't just a tour, it's history you can feel. I hope you join me. Visit foxworldtravel.com or 866-GO-FOX-GO. 866-GO-FOX-GO.
More clouds than sun today, high 68 degrees. Clouds remain in the picture overnight with a low of 43. Carbon copy days here on Saturday and Sunday with temperatures topping out in the mid-60s inland, right around 60 closer to Lake Michigan. Should be plenty of sunshine throughout the weekend. 68 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:52.
They went back for the Beagles, remembering a legendary reporter. The Bucks get a new coach and more.
It's all part of the Weekend Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back to the shack.
It was supposed to be on Sunday. It happened Saturday.
Some protesters say they were attempting to reach the facility and free the thousands of dogs inside.
Happy 420 Day, Fisher.
Happy 420 Day to all who celebrate. I'd like to see you high.
What a thing to say.
I'd love to see you stoned.
Carson Bender was sitting completely still in full camouflage when all of a sudden he turned and saw a bobcat.
Just kind of felt something sharp on my shoulder and shook it off, just laser focused on the turkeys.
Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky has received a new term. He's going to be the chief for quite a while longer.
And evidently, I paid all the right people off.
We are going to start voguing here. A couple of students from Maya. They've got their big spring fashion showcase.
I call this my creature from the Black Lagoon corset.
Your weather people. That gorgeous girl, Lauren Larson, Brian Nizansky. He's also the soccer coach in Grafton or something like that.
I'm flattered. How does she know about my soccer coaching?
Now there is Nonamaxing. Now, the key to feeling better in a fast and overstimulated world might be surprisingly simple. Live a little more like your grandparents. Ironically, Nonamaxing is a social media trend, and social media is one of the main sources of overstimulation.
In depth this entire hour. Power struggle. The future of energy in Wisconsin.
There are zero costs for data centers that are part of our rate increase.
With AI and with tech, there are winners and losers. And we don't know about which companies are going to be winners and losers.
A classic rock legend has died.
Feeling all right.
The English singer, songwriter, and guitarist Dave Mason co-founded the band Traffic.
This news is never easy, but I want to give you a chance to talk about the person Dan Bice because he was an incredible journalist.
In my mind was just larger than life, and
I would say, the most feared man in Wisconsin politics.
For the Fans Act. It's aimed at ending those blackout restrictions and bringing down the rising cost of watching live sports.
The sheer cost, it is damn expensive if you want to follow all the games.
This Earth Day, who better to talk to than a Wisconsinite who's foraging for food the next year? Okay, so I'm about to buy a house. Am I not following Earth Code right now?
There is the idea that ownership is an illusion. And we all...
No one wanted a game console from Apple when you could buy a game console from anyone else.
Yeah, it's crazy how there's some consoles that we have in our museum that nobody has ever even heard of because it was just that bad.
But I have committed to having a budget done before I swear in. We are going to do our negotiations behind a curtain.
This is a budget process. It's the people's money. Shame on her for saying it. I hope it blows her campaign up.
Milwaukee Bucks are finalizing a deal to make Taylor Jenkins the next head coach after 6 seasons as head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Only thing he might be running for is for Chick Benson to be named after one of our peregrine falcons. Or you can vote for Julia Feathers.
There's 10 of them, so both of us can win.
Oh my gosh, what if they had babies?
All right.
Packers have 2 picks tonight. First one in the second round.
I think Judy would certainly like to trade at some point because he said multiple times that he wants more picks. They've got 8 total.
What are we getting? What a week.
Have you given up on me?
Do not send me brownies.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Got your tax refund? Before it mysteriously disappears, invested in something you'll actually see every day. Your home. At Exterior Pros and Baths, turn that refund into energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel. And they'll take it even further with $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during the April savings event. But don't wait, this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. Greg Matzik here. If your garage door is giving you a bit of a problem, call my friends at Geist today. Door or opener. Brands like CHI and LiftMaster are in stock and ready to go. Incredible inventory, wonderful people, and a custom design center. If that's what your project requires, no problem. Geist can handle it. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, just visit GeistDoors.com. You can also stop by that showroom in Brookfield right off Barker Road. I've been there. The inventory is incredible. The people are wonderful. The custom design center is very unique. They've got you covered here from A to Z. Don't think twice. Call Geist and visit GeistDoors.com.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
From the post-game to the morning show, there's no rest for baseball for Dominic Cotroneo, our Brewers 360 guest every Monday at 8:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
So much of this team is the same from last year. So much of it that saw this firsthand, knowing, we're never out of a game. And the Brewers have the talent top to bottom, even on the IL right now, that are able to handle it.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited, Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Cannon and Dumphy, and Ridgetop Exteriors. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Come on, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations, and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
John Mercure here for Connect Chiropractic. Life today can keep us stuck in stress mode. Headaches, poor sleep, constant tension, feeling worn down. At Connect Chiropractic, the focus isn't just masking symptoms, it's finding the root cause, helping your nervous system function the way it was designed so your body can heal, adapt, and perform at its best. If you deal with headaches, sleep struggles, or neck and back pain from long days at a desk, take a closer look. Start with a first visit at Connect Chiropractic. It includes advanced scans, digital x-rays, helping uncover what's really going on. Connect Chiropractic.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Man your posts. The Pirates are here. No treasure leaves this city.
Pitch is high, throw to second. Oh, it is right on the bag, and they got him. What a throw from William Contreras, a cannon.
Pirates sail into Milwaukee to take on the Crew at American Family Field. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 1 o'clock. I'm Greg Madsick. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, April 24th. Your top story, a teen pleads insanity in the killing of his mother.
I'm Jessica Ty. Wisconsin is suing those popular prediction market platforms.
Slight chance of a shower today. Breezy, high 68s. Mostly cloudy tonight and a low of 43. It is 68 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 101. From the WTMJ Breaking News Room, a teenager inspired by a documentary to kill his mother pleads not guilty by reason of insanity.
Reed Galinsky was 15 years old when police found his mother, Suzanne, dead from multiple stab wounds at their home in Franksville. He told police that he had been taking his brother's anxiety pills and came home from school one day with an urge to kill his parents. Galinsky said he then made a plan after watching the Menendez brothers documentary on Netflix. Galinsky is supposed to stand trial in June, but a judge has also scheduled a competency hearing for the end of May. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Washington Elementary School in Janesville is closed for the foreseeable future due to flood damage.
The school district of Janesville says the water damage is extensive, affecting multiple levels of the building, including the kitchen, lunchroom, art room, classrooms, and mechanical systems. The school's near 400 students will be moved to alternative spaces that have not yet been announced. All classes have been canceled for the rest of the week. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
The Wisconsin Department of Justice is suing several companies over illegal sports betting. The lawsuits allege Kalshi, Robinhood, Coinbase, Polymarket, Crypto.com, and their affiliates used prediction markets on their platforms to collect fees on sports bets. Attorney General Josh Call.
You can, on those prediction markets, purchase what they call an event contract. And what we allege here is that the event contracts on sporting events are indistinguishable legally or practically, for that matter, from sports betting and constitute sports betting under Wisconsin law.
The lawsuits aim to shut down those betting platforms in the state of Wisconsin.
A federal appeals court upholds a Wisconsin man's prison sentence in a bizarre identity theft case.
In 1988, Matthew Kieran stole his coworker William Wood's wallet and used Wood's social security card to get a new driver's license. Kieran's assumed Wood's identity as he got married, had a child, and opened bank accounts. When Woods tried to reclaim his identity in 2019, Kieran's convinced police that Woods was the imposter. Woods spent almost 2 years in jail and a mental hospital before DNA evidence 3 years ago finally proved he was the real William Woods. The appeals court rejected Kieran's argument that his 12-year prison sentence was too harsh. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
And President Trump is sending his envoys, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, to Pakistan on Saturday to continue discussions with Iran. The two will have discussions with Iran's foreign minister. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Vice President J.D. Vance will not be traveling with the team. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Some mixed results here. The Dow is off about 120 points at 49,191. Big day for the NASDAQ, up nearly 400 points at 24,820. The big mover here is NVIDIA, up nearly 5% today per share. And the S&P is up about 50 at 7160. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
We're looking ahead to the Packers' first pick in the draft. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 104.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi, Milwaukee Weight Loss. It was my journey last year, lost 45 pounds. It's the secret to taking the weight off quickly and then keeping it off. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. For a limited time, get $200 off with their spring special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you're as jazzed about summer as I am, I've got a great place you can get some ideas or refine some things that you've actually been thinking about. It's Saturdays at 1 o'clock. It's Experience Wisconsin. We check in with communities, people, events across the state, give you some super cool ideas of what you can do to get into summer. This week, we are joined by Manitowoc and iconic Ishnala Supper Club. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1 on WTMJ.
MW Marine. Ready for the water? Stop into MW Marine and check out their showroom featuring the 2026 Lund, Ranger, and Vexus boats, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Lock in a great deal early so when summer hits, you're already launching, not waiting. Plus, full boat service and storage. They'll take top-notch care of your rig and get you on the water. MW Marine. Your summer starts here.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers take on the Pirates tonight. It's game 1 of a 3-game series and a good pitching matchup. Paul Skeens and Brandon Woodruff on the mound tonight. Coverage gets underway at 6:05 on WTMJ. Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza goes number 1 overall in the NFL draft Thursday night to the Las Vegas Raiders. No pick for the Packers. They will have 2 selections today, however, 1 in round 2 and 1 in round 3. GM Brian Gutekunst never really entertained the idea of trading into the first round.
We didn't really expect for that to happen. To get up into the first round was going to be quite expensive. Certainly, if it wouldn't have been, we may have entertained it, but that never really came.
Pick number 52 overall belongs to the Green Bay Packers tonight.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Heads up on this one. There's a new broken down vehicle in a busy spot and a spot where we are seeing construction as well. 4145. This particular one is 4145 south at Burleigh Street. Right shoulder is blocked because of that car that just broke down recently, and the delays on 4145 north around the Mayfair area are getting heavier. Also, we're seeing some delays in our other construction zone, a popular one, 94, around American Family Field, right there around the ballpark. That's a little bit hit or miss as far as how significant the delays are, but I am seeing some red, which means pretty bad right now, headed on 94 westbound, out of the city into the burbs. 94 eastbound, a little bit slow after the ballpark, but not too bad right now.
Traffic is sponsored by Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center. Burghardt Sporting Goods. Visit them today in New Berlin.
A chance of a stray shower this afternoon and evening. High 68 degrees, overnight low 43. Cloudy tonight. Sun returns on Saturday and Sunday. Carbon copy days here. Highs in the mid-60s on both days. Inland, a little cooler near the lake. It is 68 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 108.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
If you go to the Brewers game tonight, it's Star Wars night, and you also have the return of the Wisco jerseys.
The return of the Jedi? No, I thought that's what you were going to say. Well, is that Star Wars? Is that Star Trek? Honestly, that's not really up my alley, but I understand why it's so popular.
Part of the Star Wars family, or your instincts were correct. But the Brewers have not won a game in the Wisco jerseys yet, and you got the Supper Club fish fry thing at the concession stand. They got to win a game. You got to wear these jerseys. You got to win a game. So I think it's a Wisco weekend, or at least a Wisco Friday night, along with Star Wars night, which is always fun.
All right, let's do it the Wisco way, I guess.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, new data from the CDC shows weekly emergency room visits for tick bites are higher than usual right now. In fact, they're the highest for this time of the year since 2017, highest in almost 10 years. Health officials say the trend is happening across most of the country, including right here in the Midwest. The increase in ER visits comes right as we head into peak tick season. Tick season, not good. Ticks can spread serious illness like Lyme disease, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and even a red meat allergy known as alpha-gal syndrome. Dr. Ben Weston, Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County, joined us during our first hour, and we asked him, is the ER the right spot to go when a tick bites you?
For a lot of folks, they don't have other healthcare access, so they're not sure how to access other areas of healthcare. So the ER often is the default place to go. Not that that's the right thing, but because of the system we function in, it ends up being the only thing that they have access to. But for most people, or not even most people, but people who have access to healthcare, I would say your primary care doctor is a great resource. Urgent cares are a great resource. Some people get really sick with tick bites, and of course, then the emergency department is the right place. But usually there's a lot of steps before then to get it figured out.
And don't take any chances with the ticks. Use insect repellent, of course. Check for ticks after being outdoors and remove them quickly, ideally within 24 hours. If I see one, it's coming off right then and there. Let's get this plucked off. Also, if you notice a rash or a fever after a bite, don't wait. Go get that medical care.
Number 2. The Packers aren't exactly on the clock just yet. They'll have to likely wait to the back end of the second round to make their first pick in this year's 2026 NFL Draft. 8 total selections for the Packers as things currently stand, including pick number 52 overall. Brian Gutekunst said he did not really consider trading into the first round, saying, hey, it's just too expensive to do so. And the reasons the Packers don't have a first-round pick this year or next is because of the Micah Parsons trade.
You know, looking back and doing what we did, I think I don't think there's any players that were in this draft that can compete with that one.
Yeah, so they're looking at Micah Parsons like he's their first-round draft pick this year. Nevertheless, there's always some surprises in the NFL draft. Tell me if you think this sounds familiar. So the Los Angeles Rams are one of the better football teams in the National Football League, right? The playoff team last year. In fact, they knocked the Bears out of the playoffs last year. The Rams have a quarterback, Matthew Stafford. He's 38, but he won the MVP last year. Instead of a win-now weapon for the MVP quarterback, who's got a few years left, the Rams selected Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson.
Oh.
Does that sound a little familiar? Mm-hmm. A little familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Pick number 13 overall.
Like the Packers.
Instantly. Well, really, on a couple of occasions, right? The Packers drafted Aaron Rodgers and then traded up in the first round to get Jordan Love. Ultimately, both of those quarterbacks succeeded a future Hall of Famer. Very interesting story from last night.
Yeah, it worked for us. Number 3. President Trump is considering a taxpayer-funded takeover of Spirit Airlines. He says the government would eventually resell the budget airline once the price of oil drops. Spirit Airlines has filed for bankruptcy twice in the last 2 years. Now it says it's struggling because of the increased cost of jet fuel due to the war in Iran. The government has supported the airline industry through troubled times in the past. You think about COVID. But as Chris Van Cleve reports, it's never actually bought an airline.
Pan Am, which was the de facto flag carrier of the United States for decades, was allowed to go out of business. TWA was allowed to go out of business. Eastern was allowed to go out of business. The government didn't step in when much bigger carriers faced bankruptcy and liquidation.
Spirit Airlines has told the government it could cease operations in just days. Spirit, by the way, pulled out of Milwaukee's airport in January.
I don't mean to be crass with this, but they only filed for bankruptcy twice. I feel like they did it like 6 times.
Oh.
I feel like that was constantly in the news, that they were financial times. It's been tough for Spirit. We know that. And their presence here in Milwaukee, it was here for a while. And I don't know how successful it was, but apparently not overall very successful.
This idea is really controversial, though.
It is.
I mean,
I don't know what the benefit is here.
Taxpayer funded. And you definitely have a lot of people who feel like, listen, if they can't make it themselves, then boom, you're done, right? Because we do have other airlines who can absorb those passengers.
1:14 on WTMJ. Coming up next, you've probably noticed this around your subdivision, maybe in some urban areas. Bikes that are going a little faster than most bicycles because they're battery operated. We'll go through some details and a very interesting story out of California after this.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Well, if you're headed to the ball game anytime this weekend and you're stressing over the idea of parking and getting downtown and all that stuff, hey, don't worry about it. Friends at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee have got you covered. How about a free shuttle from the Potawatomi Sportsbook? It picks up at the Annex, which is adjacent to the Sportsbook. All you got to do is pop in and get something to eat, something to drink, maybe make a sports bet, and you'll get a wristband, and you can hop on the shuttle. It'll take you to the game, leaving Potawatomi about an hour before first pitch. And then, beginning in the seventh inning, Potawatomi shuttle will bring you back. Shuttles run for about an hour after the game, only at Potawatomi. To enter the casino, you must be 21 years or older. Enjoy all the offerings at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know you do things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can easily find the products you need and trust at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Save 15% on select legacy brand air hoses, 10% off assorted JMF plumbing supplies. Rewards members save 20%. And thoroughbred welding cylinders and welding gas, also 10% off. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
This is WTMJ's Steve Scavini from Point Taken. It's that time of year to recognize the people who go above and beyond for our communities. If you know a first responder, dispatcher, or a healthcare provider who deserves recognition, text SALUTES to 855-616-1620. That's SALUTES, 855-616-1620. Or visit WTMJ.com, submit your nomination. But don't wait, submissions close May 8th.
It's Steve Scaffidi's Salute to Service, presented by Waterstone Bank and sponsored by Mission 94.
Overall, pretty nice day today. Maybe a stray shower. I think most of us stay dry here. High of 68 degrees. Overnight low 43. Clouds continue. Tomorrow, sun returns and a high of 65 degrees. Sunday looks very much the same. Little cooler near the lake on both days. 68 degrees and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 117. Well, you probably noticed it, especially if you live in a subdivision. Over the last 5 years, e-bikes have written the rules for the bike industry, from niche to mainstream, from specialty shops to Amazon bestseller. It's a surge driven by more than just commuters, however. In fact, parents are increasingly buying them for kids who may not even be old enough to hold a driver's license, and that's leading to some challenging situations in cities across America. We welcome in from ABC, it's Sherry Preston. These things are fast. These things are, in some cases, expensive. And in many cases, Sherry, you're seeing kids riding around before they can even drive a car.
Yeah, and one other thing you should add is they're not regulated. I mean, every single municipality, every single state, every single school district even has their own rules when it comes to e-bikes. And you've seen them a lot. They started off with mostly like delivery drivers here in New York. You'd see them on e-bikes. And then people started getting them. And then kids started getting them. And more people are getting them now because gas prices are up. So you're seeing them all over the place. But the thing is, everybody has different rules when it comes to these. Unlike a motorcycle, you don't need to get a license for one of these. But a lot of doctors say, okay, look, these are much more like motorcycles than they are like bicycles. So if you are going to drive one, you should follow more rules. And if you're going to ride one, obviously you should wear a helmet, which is, what they say. But you should consider a motorcycle helmet over a bicycle helmet because these, again, are vehicles that you can go super fast on. And there have been 20,000 plus injuries and trips to the emergency room because of e-bike accidents. 3,000 of those needed hospitalization, and a lot of those were brain injuries. So a lot of things to keep in mind when it comes to these e-bikes. They're convenient, but you got to think of a lot of things.
And Sherry, there's this case in California that is very eye-opening. If people haven't heard about it yet, they're going to be hearing about it soon. What exactly happened in California, and why is that case getting so much national attention?
In Orange County, California, there was a 14-year-old kid who was riding an e-bike this week, and he was, seen doing wheelies and kind of showing off. He hit an 81-year-old man, a Vietnam War vet who was working as a substitute teacher and was walking home from school that day. The kid hit him. Well, a year ago, his mom had been warned because neighbors had complained about this kid that she should keep the kid off the e-bike. And police went to their house, and on body cam video, the woman is seen saying, according to the police, I won't let my kid do it anymore. He won't do it anymore. Well, guess what? This week, a year later, the kid does it again, and the mom has been charged with 2 felonies and several misdemeanors and could be looking at prison time because the DA in Orange County says, we're going to prosecute this. We're going to take a page out of the, mass shooting playbook when it comes to where did the kid get the gun, holding parents responsible for what the kid does. And so parents need to keep a lot of things in mind before they let their kids have one of these bikes.
There is a cool factor. There's no doubt about it. These things are amazing. It's incredible technology. I was looking at the laws in the state of Wisconsin, Sherry, and they separate it into categories. So there is a Class 1 and Class 2 e-bike in the state of Wisconsin, and this is a top motor-assisted speed of 20 miles an hour. There's also Class 3, top motor-assisted speed of 28. And what I find fascinating about this technology is that when you hit the throttle, it doesn't take long to get to 28, right? It's not like you're pedaling your way to that speed. It's instant torque, and it can be very jarring. But in Wisconsin, you've got to be 16 or older to be on that Class 3 bike. So they are trying to regulate it a little bit here, but I feel like the sale of e-bikes is outpacing legislation nationwide as a whole.
You just nailed it right there, because when you go on, say, Walmart's website and you look and you type in e-bike, there are dozens and dozens of different kinds of e-bikes. They all have different powers. They operate at different speeds. And you can get bikes that you can sort of hack so that they can go even faster than what it's supposed to go. So, yeah, the regulation is catching up as we go, but it's one of these topics that a lot of people are talking about, because you go in the neighborhood and all of a sudden, if you're a driver in a car, most of the accidents, we should also say, are not the e-bike rider falling off of the e-bike. They are the e-bike rider colliding with another car. There was a case recently of a kid collided in between 2 cars and was killed. You can say, okay, 20 miles an hour, you operate this way, 28 this way. But an e-bike going that fast on the side of the road like a bike really can throw you off if you're the driver. And do they allow them on highways? Do they allow them on county highways, maybe not, I-43, but do they allow them, on roads where people frequent, where you do see a lot of motorcycles? So a lot going on out there.
I feel like it's one thing to say we need more regulation on this, and we likely do, but then it comes down to who's going to enforce it. I think about the city of Milwaukee. They just don't have time to enforce something like this. I mean, a lot of times, my husband always says, people never get pulled over for speeding anymore here. And yes, sometimes people do still get pulled over for speeding, but it doesn't happen like it used to. And I always tell them there are bigger fish to fry. And I think that is probably a challenge with cities around the country is, okay, even if we have regulations out there, do we have the people to enforce them?
Well, you're right. And a lot of it might go back to, especially when you're talking about underage kids, the parents. I mean, it might go back to, okay, your kid is, say, 12, 13, wants an e-bike. It's up to you as the parent to determine that they're being watched, they're driving safely, they're wearing a helmet. I mean, try getting an 11-year-old to say, okay, I need you to wear this motorcycle helmet when you ride the e-bike. Good luck with that. But that's, what they're saying, probably needs to happen with these. And these are not like, a four-wheel drive or an ATV that you might go out in the woods or, at your camp and you can just ride it wherever you want and however you want. These are on roads, and these are things that people are using to get to and from work. Kids are using to get to and from school. So you're right. It is easier to say one thing and to enforce it is something else until something like this happens in Orange County, where you've got the 80-year-old man who gets hit. Then you're going to have the tickets start getting out. Yep, exactly.
ABC's Sherry Preston. Sherry, I always appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Sherry.
Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
Give me an extra large deep dish pepperoni.
Hasselus doesn't sell pizza. We sell mattresses for way less.
Do I need a coupon?
No, sir. Others sell a Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Queen Elm Cove A mattress for $1,459. But Hasselus has it for just $794.
Running any specials?
Through Monday, save an additional $248 on a new Beauty Rest or Sealy Posturepedic just for shopping local.
Do you deliver?
Free next day delivery.
I'm really hungry.
Hasselus.com.
Horicon Bank is founded by inventors, fueled by community, and focused on business. How about this? 130 years. You can help celebrate with Horicon Bank at the Together Building Hope Breakfast. It's coming up May 20th, and it's at the Milwaukee County Zoo's Peck Center. What a great time. Join church and faith leaders from across Wisconsin for a powerful morning. There'll be a keynote speaker as well, sharing insights on faith in the marketplace. Complimentary breakfast for you. Connect with community leaders. It's free, but space is limited. Register now at horiconbank.com/hope. Together doing good for 130 years. It's Horicon Bank, member FDIC.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here. You know I'm obsessed with all things royal, so we're rolling out the red carpet to personally invite you on the British Crown experience with Fox World Travel and Insight Vacations. We're talking about the changing of the guard, the crown jewels, high tea, Stonehenge, Oxford, the full royal treatment. This isn't just a tour, it's history you can feel. I hope you join me. Visit foxworldtravel.com or 866-GO-FOX-GO, 866-GO-FOX-GO.
Time to celebrate another everyday hero. Here's a look at a story from WTMJ's Eric Bilstead.
An everyday hero is when Wisconsin's Morning News celebrates an average John or a Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today, we head to Pauls Valley, Oklahoma, just south of OKC. You may have heard about this story. A gunman entering Pauls Valley High School.
Oh my God, somebody's shooting at the school, at the high school, my kids!
This suspect was an alum at the school. He walked into the lobby holding a pistol. He was firing shots when the principal, Kirk Moore, rushes into the room and tackles the guy.
The subject was able to fire multiple rounds. Where the principal was hurt.
The principal was shot in the leg. The suspect then dropped the gun, and another staff member ran up and kicked it away. This guy is now in custody, and the criminal complaint says he was there to shoot the principal and as many people as possible.
There's not a doubt in my mind that he...
This guy is now in custody, and the criminal complaint says he was there to shoot the principal and as many people as possible.
There's not a doubt in my mind that he saved kids' lives.
Pauls Valley Police Chief Don May says Principal Moore is a hero.
It doesn't surprise me, the actions that he took, but it is amazing at the actions that he took.
Principal Moore was taken to the hospital after that shooting. He will be okay. In a statement, he said, like so many educators around the country, we prepare for these events. I'm grateful that my instincts and training, as well as God's hand, were available to me.
He's a hero. Yeah, that's amazing.
Just want to say thank you. God bless him. Thank you.
Are you having a good time, Pauls Valley?
A week later, it was prom at PVHS.
Are you guys ready to crown the king and the queen?
And guess who the students honored?
Ladies and gentlemen, our king, Kirk Moore.
The place goes absolutely nuts. The boys and girls high-fiving the principal, who happily puts on a crown and takes pictures with them. You can see the video. It's amazing. Just text the word hero to the WTMJ Siding Unlimited talk and text line 855-616-1620. Principal.
Got your tax refund? Before it mysteriously disappears, invested in something you'll actually see every day. Your home. At Exterior Pros and Baths, turn that refund into energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel. And they'll take it even further with $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during the April savings event. But don't wait, this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you're as jazzed about summer as I am, I've got a great place you can get some ideas or refine some things that you've actually been thinking about. It's Saturdays at 1 o'clock. It's Experience Wisconsin. We check in with communities, people, events across the state, give you some super cool ideas of what you can do to get into summer. This week, we are joined by Manitowoc and iconic Ishnala Supper Club. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1 on WTMJ.
From large manufacturer to local pizza shop and every business in between, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions. Whatever you're building, you've got this. And Summit Credit Union's got you.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, April 24th. Your top story, a teen now faces murder charges.
I'm Jessica Ty. Going the extra mile for a cream puff. How Wisconsin is that?
Slight chance for a shower today. Breezy, high of 68 degrees. Mostly cloudy tonight, a low of 43. Saturday and Sunday look very similar, with highs in the mid to upper 60s. Inland, a little cooler near the lake.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. Trump administration officials, including Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, are headed to Pakistan tomorrow for renewed peace talks with Iran. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
We hope progress will be made, and we hope that positive developments will come from this meeting, and we will see. And the president, the vice president, the secretary of state will be waiting here in the United States for updates, and the vice president, I understand, is on standby and will be willing to dispatch to Pakistan if we feel it's a necessary use of his time.
Iran's foreign minister is headed to the region, but is only holding bilateral meetings there and has no plans to meet with the U.S. delegation at this point. The Iranians will instead negotiate through Pakistani representatives, according to Iranian state media. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell is no longer under investigation. The Department of Justice dropping its case today, which had to do with supposed cost overruns during renovations at Fed headquarters. Powell's term ends next month. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. A 14-year-old boy faces felony murder charges in connection to a deadly shooting in Milwaukee's Walker's Point neighborhood. Assistant District Attorney Claire Rohr.
On this petition that he has shown a complete disregard for human life. He was in a stolen vehicle with other juveniles that two of which are very well known in the juvenile system, and at least one of them was armed with a firearm.
35-year-old David Krause was shot and killed after a group of teens allegedly tried to rob him near First and Greenfield on 414 Day. Police have arrested two more teens in connection to his death. They're still searching for more suspects.
Amazon plans to build a rapid delivery hub in Milwaukee's Walker's Point neighborhood. The Amazon, or the Milwaukee Business Journal rather, reports the company plans to convert part of a building near 12th and Bruce into an Amazon Now delivery center. The space would stock refrigerated and shelf-stable food and household items and deliver those orders within 30 minutes. No timeline yet on when construction would begin.
Well, 38% on Milwaukee's land is dedicated to transportation.
414 in Motion is the city's mobility initiative, currently hosting open houses throughout Milwaukee, hearing resident feedback on how to improve transportation and travel.
People want our streets to be safer in the city, and they want them to be in good condition.
DPW's senior transportation planner, Danya Linfield.
It's our city's public space, and we want to kind of focus together on how can we make that reflect what we want our streets to be like as we move around and how we want to move around.
The remaining open houses will take place at Milwaukee's public libraries, Tippecanoe Branch on Monday, and Good Hope Branch on Tuesday. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
Health officials are warning the tick season is off to an aggressive start, including right here in Wisconsin.
New CDC data shows emergency room visits for tick bites are higher than usual across much of the country, reaching the highest levels for this time of year since 2017. Here in the Badger State, there has been a recent uptick in hospital visits for tick-borne illnesses like Lyme disease, according to data from the Department of Health Services. Health officials say prevention is key, including using insect repellent, wearing protective clothing, and doing tick checks after spending time outdoors. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
And a man from Cudahy going the extra mile for State Fair's cream puffs.
The Wisconsin State Fair is rolling out a limited-time orange cream puff flavor for the fair's 175th anniversary, and one man biked from Cudahy to West Allis just to get them.
I'm doing a special challenge called the 30 Days of April, where you have to ride your bike every day in April. So this is a perfect destination for this month.
Cudahy resident Bob Duncan tells WTMJ.
So you can't live for 10 years or more in Wisconsin without having had a cream puff. They're the best.
The cream puffs are at the State Fair Park until Sunday afternoon. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
A couple of the orange ones made their way back to our Good Karma brand studios today.
I saw the email. Did you try one?
No, I got close enough to it. When I say close enough, I mean 10 feet away, and I could smell the orange dreamsicle kind of scent that it was emitting.
Oh, and you weren't feeling it?
No. not so much.
I actually like an orange dreamsicle popsicle when you were a kid. Just that orange and then the creamy flavor. That was nice, but that was when I was a kid. I don't feel like I need it now. I'm not a huge cream puff person.
Yeah, no, I'm
I will
with you.
take, and you know what I'm going to say next? I will take the hot cheese at State Fair.
Yeah.
1,000,000 times over. I will run to the hot cheese truck and leave the cream puffs in the dust.
Well, see if we can get that shipped over here before the end of the show. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:35.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry, and I want to tell you about the dentist I recommend, my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Conmawalk Dental Care. If you've been putting off a cleaning, dealing with tooth sensitivity, or you're ready to finally fix what's been bothering you, this is a great place to start. Dr. Michaels and his team are welcoming, thorough, and focused on your comfort. They explain your options clearly and help you feel at ease in the chair. From regular checkups to crowns, cosmetic improvements, implants, and Invisalign, they can handle it all. And if something happens unexpectedly, they offer emergency dentistry too. I make the drive from Milwaukee to Oconomowoc just to see Dr. Michaels and his fantastic staff. They're that good. So call 262-567-7224 to request an appointment today, or just visit drmichaelsdentalcare.com. That's 262-567-7224 or drmichaelsdentalcare.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings. This year, reclaim your outdoor space like I did. Having the option to extend our awning when that summer sun gets too hot or when it's raining has been a game changer and allows my dogs, husband, and me to enjoy our patio every season. Comfort Awnings is now offering their biggest promo ever. Get up to $1,000 off any awning or screen. That's right, start spring off right and get 10% off up to $1,000 until the end of the month. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be 1 million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Rounds 2 and 3 of the NFL Draft will be conducted tonight. The Packers have 2 selections, one in round 2 and one in round 3. No picks for the Packers on Thursday night in round 1, thanks to the trade for Micah Parsons.
You know, looking back and doing what we did, I think I don't think there's any players that were in this draft that can compete with that one.
It's Packers GM Brian Gutekunst. First pick for the Packers tonight, as it stands, is number 52 overall. And the Brewers are back home after dropping 2 of 3 to the Tigers in Detroit. They'll face the Pirates tonight in game 1 of a 3-game series with Brandon Woodruff and Paul Skeens, your starting pitchers. Coverage gets underway at 6:05 on WTMJ.
Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. I'm keeping an eye on this spot up in the Sheboygan area where there's not 1, not 2, but 3 disabled vehicles off to the side. It's I-43 north at Wisconsin 42. Right shoulder is blocked. You do have construction barrels out there, so basically there's one lane of traffic that's moving freely. Nothing's backed up because of it, but it's odd. I don't know if these were involved in a crash earlier this morning, but for some reason we have 3 broken down vehicles off to the side of the road. And Greg, as I was monitoring this to see what was going on here, all of a sudden there's a man who walked on through, and I was like, where's he going to go? What's he doing? Because he's been out there for a while, these cars. He went into the second car. Cameras are not high definition enough to know what the heck he's doing in there. And now he's walking by. The things you'd like to know. Would you like to know if there are any crashes? There are no crashes. There are a couple of other disabled vehicles around the system, but they're not causing any problems. And our construction zones, 94 around the ballpark, they are slow. Also, 4145 north is also slow in our construction zone near Mayfair.
Well, it doesn't appear weather will be the source of any issues on the road today. No, quite a different spot than we were a week ago. The rain that was supposed to come last night kind of fizzled out. We didn't get much of anything out where we live, but there was definitely a big storm brewing out to the west. Looks pretty clean for the rest of the weekend, however. Let's welcome in from TMJ4, it's meteorologist Jacob Montesano. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, yeah, we really didn't see any of that rain make its way to southeast Wisconsin, which I'm sure many people will gladly take that.
Hey, Jacob, this is my first week with you because I was off on Friday, and because I wouldn't do this if we had some wild weather, but it looks like we've got nice weather this weekend, so I have to ask, because I know people are like, wait a second, Jacob? And some people are turning on TMJ4 and saying, okay, who's the new guy? What should we know about you, Jacob?
Well, I grew up in the Chicagoland area, so I'm very familiar with the weather around this part of the country. And I've also worked in Madison, Wisconsin the last 3 years, so I'm very familiar with Wisconsin. And, I'm a pretty relaxed guy. I like to, just give the weather as honest as possible. I'm certainly not someone that likes to overhype or, in other cases, underhype something. So I guess, that's really all you need to know, I guess. I grew up around this in the Chicagoland area, so very familiar with the Great Lakes region in the Midwest.
Well, that's awesome. But can we, if you don't mind, here at 620 WTMJ and really Good Karma Brands as a whole, they like to, on our webpage, they make us do, what is it? Is it 4 fun facts or 5 fun facts?
It's like 5 questions about, favorite travel destination, and, food pops up on that, maybe whatever you're binging on TV.
That must have been like 20 years ago when you were hired.
Okay.
But for me, it was like, can you just provide 5 fun facts?
Oh,
and so
just you do it.
We're not that high maintenance. We're not gonna ask you for 5. But what would be one fun fact about Jacob?
Oh man, that's a tough one. You always You're putting me on the spot here, and I don't have something off the top of my head.
Can we dial in his parents?
I guess a fun fact about me is I love Wisconsin, but I still am going to forever be a Chicago sports fan. So I guess that could be your fun fact. I'm sorry if that disappoints some people, but I do enjoy Wisconsin a lot more than Illinois. But at heart, I'm always going to be a sports fan with the team I grew up with, of course.
Yeah, no, we'll talk to you next week, Jacob. thanks for hanging out with us today.
Cut him off. That makes sense. So I understand what you're saying. Your heart is in your hometown. But yeah, that's going to be a tough one for people to swallow here.
Hey, that is all good. It leads to fun conversations around the newsroom. I did see a chance of a sprinkle. It appears most of us stay dry here today, Jacob. Is that what you're seeing here? Nothing too concerning popping up on the radar out of nowhere?
Yeah, exactly what you said. Maybe a light sprinkle, but for the most part, it's going to be pretty dry for the rest of today. Certainly cloudier than the last couple of days, and it's also going to be more cloudy today compared to the weekend. Now, temperatures today will remain pretty nice. 60s for most of the region, maybe getting a little cooler as you get right along the lake. But then the weekend, we'll see sunny conditions and dry conditions. A little bit cooler, especially lakeside, where highs may only be in the upper 50s. Still expected to get into the 60s westward, but it's going to be a pretty nice weekend. A lot of sunshine, and we're not going to see that rain return until Monday. But right now, it looks like that Monday rain could bring in some strong to severe thunderstorms. Right now, it looks like a very typical severe weather event. Afternoon, evening is the best time frame, maybe into the overnight hours. Still a lot of uncertainty with it still being 4 days out, so the details on the severe weather will likely change a little bit. But right now, we are expecting that round of severe weather potentially Monday afternoon through early Monday night. And then after that, we actually are expecting some cooler temperatures as we get towards the middle and end of next week and towards the beginning of May. Now, we're not going to, when we say cooler, we don't mean like snow level temperatures, but we might see a few days where highs are only in the lower 50s to upper 40s. So definitely get out and enjoy this weekend because it may get a little cooler for next weekend. Obviously, we'll see days like what we saw yesterday come back eventually, but those 70s and even lower 80s we saw yesterday, they're not expected to return anytime soon, but they will eventually.
All right, good stuff, Jacob. Have yourself a great weekend. Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
1:44 on WTMJ.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. Passion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned. Always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Take your family to the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford for the all-you-can-eat Wednesday and Friday haddock fish fry for $8.99. Wow. Elsewhere, desserts are buy one, get one free. Google The Mineshaft. Call and reserve your table, The Mineshaft.
Amy Simonson is the IT administrator with Professional Services Group. They had business technology from a not-so-supportive vendor. Not anymore. They switched to James Imaging Systems.
They come in as a partner. They want to help you. They want to make your business successful.
Including your James Imaging Systems sales representative.
He's always there when I need him. It's always like, what can I do to help you?
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner with great people and more value.
The value is we have the right equipment in the right place. We're getting reliable, consistent service when we need it.
Amy, your advice for other Wisconsin businesses?
I would definitely say contact James Imaging. They are very helpful and knowledgeable and will put you in the right place.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, digital transformation. Call 262-781-7700, 262-781-7700, or visit jamesimaging.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Well, it's draft week in the NFL. The Packers own 8 selections today and tomorrow. Rounds 2 and 3 today, 4 through 7 over the weekend on Saturday. In the history of this iconic franchise, who are the greatest draft picks of all time? Here's my top 5. The Green Bay Packers have drafted over 1,000 players since the draft became a thing in 1936. In the 1940s, the draft had as many as 32 rounds. Today, the draft is a 7-round event in which 257 players will be selected. While general managers aim to bat 1,000, not all Packers picks have worked out.
79, Tony Mandarich. He's the finest offensive lineman I have ever seen. He's a monster.
But many have. 89 drafts, over 1,000 players, 13 Hall of Famers. These are the best of the best.
5. Leroy Butler.
It's picked off by Butler. Butler to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. He's in for the touchdown.
A second-round draft pick in 1990, Butler played all 12 seasons of his NFL career in Green Bay. A 4-time All-Pro, a Super Bowl champion, a member of the NFL's 1990s All-Decade team, recording 20.5 sacks in his career and 38 interceptions, a game-changer, all-league performer, Hall of Famer, and the inventor of the Lambeau Leap.
4.
Jim Taylor.
Taylor was unbelievable. He was a fierce competitor.
A second-round pick, Taylor was a 3-time first-team All-Pro and NFL MVP in 1962. Jim Taylor became the first player in NFL history to record 5 straight 1,000-plus yard rushing seasons.
I just tried to play at a very high level of intensity and play to my potential. He liked to hit people.
Usually a running back breaks the line of scrimmage and he looks for the end zone. Jimmy looked for the first safety he could run over.
A Super Bowl champion and member of the NFL's All-Decade team in the 1960s. Taylor's 81 rushing touchdowns remain a Packers franchise record. Taylor currently ranks second on the Packers franchise rushing yardage list with 8,207, plus another 1,500 receiving yards.
3.
Vice Greg.
Vince Lombardi famously called Greg, quote, the finest player I ever coached. Greg played 15 of his 16 seasons in Green Bay, was a 7-time first-team All-Pro. Greg was also incredibly durable, missing just 1 start over an 11-year span from 1959 to 1969.
On this play against Chicago, Forrest executes the difficult seal-off block perfectly.
A member of the 1960s All-Decade team, Greg, in 2019, was named to the NFL's 100th anniversary team. The only player ever drafted by the Packers to make that team.
The guy was just fantastic.
A second-round pick in 1956.
2.
Aaron Rodgers. Oh my, that may be one of the great throws ever made.
A first-round pick in 2005, Rodgers spent 18 seasons with the Packers, winning 4 MVPs.
Very few people in the history of this game could make this throw that Aaron Rodgers just made.
A Super Bowl champion, an MVP of the Super Bowl, and a 4-time first-team All-Pro. Rodgers' 59,005 passing yards is an all-time mark for the Packers. His 475 touchdowns, the most in franchise history.
Look at this throw.
Unbelievable. 4 times during his tenure with the Packers, Rodgers led the NFL in quarterback rating and is among the most historically accurate quarterbacks to ever live.
1.
Art Starr.
The measure of the player is how well he plays under pressure when you have to win.
Starr played 16 seasons of professional football, all with the Packers. He was a 3-time All-Pro and the MVP of the league in 1966. 4 times, Starr led the league in quarterback rating and completion percentage. His 5 championships, more than any quarterback over the league's first 96 seasons. 2 Super Bowl wins, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Starr lost his first playoff game in 1960 and never lost in the postseason again, posting a career 9-1 mark.
I think the quality of a great leader, of a great quarterback, is being able to deliver when you have to.
Bart Starr was the 200th overall selection in 1956, falling to the Packers in the 17th round. So much history, so many great players. Who's on your list? Greg Matzek, WTMJ News. Kind of fun to think about. Boy, if you want to be in the top 5, you pretty much got to be a Hall of Famer, right? And there's a lot of great picks, including Donald Driver, who we're going to talk to coming up at 2:35. He was a 7th-round pick in 1999. Packers Hall of Famer, but not NFL Hall of Famer. So to be on this list, I mean, it is the best of the best.
Without a doubt. And different teams were telling Donald Driver different things as far as where he would go. And He didn't know.
That is very true. So, yeah, Double D is going to join us coming up at 2:35. He's also behind an incredible initiative here, trying to grow the sport of girls flag football in the state of Wisconsin at the high school level. In fact, just in the last several months, you've seen UW-Oshkosh launch a women's flag football team. And I got an email yesterday, literally yesterday, saying that Lawrence University is going to do the same starting in 2027. So more scholarship opportunities will be there for female athletes coming out of the high school ranks as this keeps growing, and it will definitely keep growing. It's 1:54 on WTMJ. Wisconsin's Midday News podcast is built by Siding Unlimited. Wherever you get your podcasts, we'd love it if you subscribe to Wisconsin's Midday News. Also, a great reminder that we are on YouTube. Each and every day, you can be in the studio with us, watching along on our YouTube page. Visit WTMJ.com, do the little search thing on YouTube, and then find Wisconsin's Midday News and follow us as we go throughout our day. Wisconsin's Midday News here on WTMJ.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Lark.
I love the location, and that's the main reason Dave and I are there, is because of nature all around us. I knew when we moved in, I was leaving behind a lot of stress and responsibility. I decided now is the time to do what I want when I want to do it.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
It's a state-of-the-art facility unlike anything in Wisconsin, and we love it. They offer top-tier services for our dog, Knight. It's the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls. It's our go-to place for doggy daycare, boarding, and grooming services. It's the Hounds and Tap. If you want to hang out there as well, you certainly can. They got a beautiful indoor-outdoor tavern. Picture this, a nice sunny afternoon. You're hanging with your dog. You're outside. You're at the tavern watching a game, food from a food truck, something cold to drink. It really is a wonderful place where you can hang out. Your dogs are going to love it as well. Coming up this Sunday at the Hounds and Tap, they've got the Hounds and Tap Blood Drive. This is a great thing benefiting Versity. It's the Hounds and Tap Blood Drive on Sunday. So bring the kids as well. It's family day at the Hounds and Tap. 9 to 3, you can be a part of the blood drive happening at the Hounds and Tap. They support wonderful community initiatives, and it's a great place to hang out. Top-tier services available for your dog. Visit thehoundsandtap.com.
Acumen Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
At Gruber Law Offices, our biggest priority is the care and service we provide to our clients. We know accidents can be overwhelming, and we're here to help every step of the way. Call now. One call, that's all.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on April 28th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in April 28th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station.
You can search for the biggest bat selection, but I'm here to save you time because the best baseball and softball bat selection in the Midwest is right here at Burkhart Sporting Goods. We stock just about every bat on the market from all the top manufacturers like Easton, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Marucci, and more, and sell them all at the guaranteed lowest prices. So get in here and try a few out in our indoor batting cages. There's no need to look any further because when it comes to bats, if you want it, we got it at Burkhart Sporting Goods.
You can't beat Burkhart.
When you run a team, you want great uniforms, and you know selling spiritwear is vital. That's why Burkhart Sporting Goods will create a free custom website for you to sell your families and players the coolest spiritwear from Nike and Under Armour, as well as the basics, while helping you fundraise at the same time. We take
Okay, that's easy. So if you answer yes to any of these questions, you're the kind of patient QC Kinetics regenerative treatments help every day. Consistent joint pain in my knees, hips, shoulders, or back. Pain keeps me from getting a good night's sleep. I'm missing work or saying no to activities that I enjoy. I don't want surgery and a long recovery. I'm at the end of my rope taking meds every day to just get through. Did you answer yes to any of those questions? Today could be your day. With locations plus weekend appointments, QC Kinetic treatments are easy, done in the office. You go about your day. The consultation's free, so don't wait. It will be the most meaningful thing you do for yourself and the people who care about you. Schedule your free consultation today. 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559.
Man your posts. The Pirates are here. No treasure leaves this city.
Inches high, throw to second. Oh, it is right on the bag, and they got him. What a throw from William Contreras, a cannon.
The Pirates sail into Milwaukee to take on the Crew at American Family Field.
Put it right on the bag.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock. I'm Greg Mansick. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Friday, April 24th. Your top story, fire watch for an egg farm.
I'm Jessica Ty. The head of human resources for Milwaukee County resigns.
Most of us stay dry today. There is a chance of a stray shower this afternoon. Mostly cloudy tonight and a low of 43 after an afternoon high of 68. Saturday and Sunday, carbon copies sunny with a high in the mid-60s, a little cooler near Lake Michigan. 68 degrees and mostly cloudy in Milwaukee at 2 o'clock. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, an egg farm in Palmyra is on fire watch after a chicken barn was completely destroyed.
It happened at the Daybreak Foods site on Highway 59 Thursday afternoon. No chickens were inside the barn at the time, and no humans or animals were injured. The building is a total loss. It's unclear what caused the fire, and Palmyra Fire Rescue says there will be a fire watch on the property for the next 2 days. The fire comes as the Jefferson County farm is dealing with bird flu outbreaks, where Daybreak Foods has been forced to cull and compost millions of chickens. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee County's Director of Human Resources is stepping down.
Margot Franklin submitted her resignation Wednesday, and while she didn't provide a reason for her departure, it comes more than 2 months after an employee under her watch, Tony Mays, was fired following a lapse in the county's health care contract. Franklin defended herself before county supervisors in February.
My job is not to do the job of my employees. We bring them in, we hire them, we trust their expertise, we trust them to do the jobs that we've hired them to do.
County Executive David Crowley has accepted Franklin's resignation, which takes effect May 1st. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A state prosecution against former advisors to President Trump is moving forward.
Kenneth Chesbrough, Jim Troupis, and Mike Roman are accused of making false documents in an effort to overturn the 2020 election results. A judge in Dane County ruling this week that statements Chesbrough made to out-of-state investigators can be used as evidence. Meanwhile, 2 liberal justices on the Wisconsin Supreme Court rejected a motion to recuse themselves from the case. All 3 men are facing felony forgery charges. No trial date has been set. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
The Justice Department is dropping its case against current Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. Powell's term is slated to end next month. President Trump has nominated Kevin Warsh to take over, but a bipartisan group of lawmakers upset with the DOJ probe is holding that nomination up. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
The D.C. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro came out and said that her office would be dropping the investigation into Powell. They're referring it to the Fed's own internal watchdog instead, which, by the way, has already been conducting an investigation into this since last summer. But and essentially saying that, we reserve the right to open this again. But what this should do, the bottom line, is this should pave the path for essentially Kevin Warsh to ultimately now get confirmed.
The investigation was among several undertaken by the Justice Department into the president's perceived adversaries. Powell says the investigation was intended to intimidate the Fed.
A federal appeals court in Washington blocks efforts by President Trump to broadly restrict asylum access in the United States.
The panel upheld a lower court decision saying the administration cannot bypass federal law to deny asylum to large groups of migrants. Two of the judges wrote the policy ignored protections for people fleeing persecution. Another agreed migrants cannot be sent to dangerous conditions, but dissented on broader asylum limits. The ACLU responded in a statement saying the ruling will, quote, potentially save the lives of thousands who were denied hearings under the policy. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is off about 100 points today at 49,208. NASDAQ is surging up 375 points at 24,813. And the S&P is up 50 today at 7160. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Who will the Green Bay Packers pick? Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:04.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala. Nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Have you ever thought to yourself, I want my house to look better than it does. I just don't know where to even start or even what to do. Tri-County Contracting can help you with that. They can help you love your home again. They have the design consultants, they've got the showroom, they've got real picture renderings, they've got it all to help turn your home back into your dream home. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Love your home again with Tri-County Contracting.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
In an overnight session, the U.S. Senate passed a $70 billion spending resolution to fund the Department of Homeland Security.
Eric Bilstad.
An online extremist network known as 764 is gaining concerning momentum here locally.
And traffic with Debbie Loziga.
Got some delays southbound on 41, starting from Silver Spring all the way down to Capitol.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
Saving money in your interior staining project when you shop at Menards. Varathane Premium Fast Dry is an interior wood stain that provides color in just one coat. It's ideal for interior wood projects including floors, furniture, and more. Save big on Varathane Fast Dry Wood Stain today. View our entire selection of stain and accessories on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer to find all the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Groover Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. It's the Brewers and Pirates tonight in Game 1 of a 3-game series. Brandon Woodruff and Paul Skeens, your pitching matchup. Coverage gets underway at 6:05 on WTMJ. The Packers own 2 selections on day 2 of the NFL Draft, 1 in round 2, 1 in round 3. No first-round pick for Brian Gutekunst after the trade last August for Micah Parsons.
Looking back and doing what we did, I think I don't think there's any players that were in this draft that can compete with that one.
As it stands, the Packers' first pick tonight, number 52 overall.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We do have a brand new crash. This one happened just about 6 minutes ago. It is out in the Pewaukee area. The crash is on the ramp from 164 County J to 94 West. So the one thing, if you're looking on the bright side, it's on the ramp, so it's not smack dab where all of the traffic is flying by right now, but it's also on the ramp, which is a dangerous spot. I do see 2 cars are involved in this one. Hopefully it's not too bad. It looks like people are out of their cars right now, chatting with each other. Probably one of those things going, hey man, sorry about that. Hopefully everybody is okay. But that's a brand new crash in the Pewaukee area. on the ramp from 164 County J to 94 West.
Comfortable temperatures today, topping out in the upper 60s inland, where we are right now. More clouds than sun, however. Chance of a stray shower is possible. Overnight low 43. Saturday and Sunday, highs topping out in the mid to upper 60s, a little cooler near Lake Michigan. It's currently 68 and cloudy in Milwaukee, approaching 209.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Final hour for us on a Friday will pave way for Wisconsin's afternoon news and then Brewers baseball tonight on night 2 of the draft. Should be a great weekend here. A lot of sun. Thankful not to see much rain in the forecast here. In fact, none for the weekend. So settle in, enjoy it, maybe get some plantings taken care of, get that grass seed down, all that kind of stuff. Good outside kind of weekend.
Let this Friday be with you.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, the Justice Department says it's prioritizing the death penalty and looking at new ways for the federal government to execute condemned prisoners. ABC's Stephen Portnoy has the new details today.
The acting attorney general accuses the Biden administration of failing in its duty and refusing to carry out the ultimate punishment. In one of his final acts as president, Joe Biden commuted the sentences of more than 36 inmates who'd been ordered executed, leaving just 3 men on the federal death row. Todd Blanche says the Trump administration will now prioritize the use of the drug pentobarbital for lethal injection and expand the Bureau of Prisons' execution protocol to include other methods, such as death by firing squad.
So federal executions are different than state executions, but sometimes I think people hear the death penalty and then they just go to the state. So
sure.
If you are doing that right now, just remember that Wisconsin does not have the death penalty. We got rid of it in 1853, and there were various times that people wanted to bring it back, but it just never happened. So federal executions, that typically happens for something like if somebody was convicted of, say, terrorism. If there's a state, obviously, again, Wisconsin not one of them, but for states that have state executions, that might be convicted of a murder in that state.
Well, number 2, Jake Reiner, the oldest son of renowned director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle Reiner, speaking out publicly for the first time since his parents were murdered. ABC's Alex Stone reporting from Los Angeles.
Jake Reiner says, quote, "I still wake up every morning having to convince myself that no, it's not a dream," end quote, and that this truly is my living nightmare. Jake wrote about the loss of his parents in a Substack post on Friday. He writes, quote, "One thing I keep coming back to is how frightened they must have been." Jake Reiner's brother, Nick, has pleaded not guilty to murdering their parents. Nick Reiner is due back in court next week for his preliminary hearing. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
So, yeah, much more to this story. Really, the legal proceedings have not yet begun. So Nick Reiner is currently being held without bail at the Twin Towers Correctional Facility that's in Los Angeles as he awaits trial. Court appearances and so on, and of course the plea, which happened in February, entering that plea of not guilty, the 2 counts of first-degree murder through a public defender. So we'll see where this one goes, but there's another brother in the mix who's speaking out for the first time today while his other brother is being held. It's 2:12, we'll call it, here on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you're as jazzed about summer as I am, I've got a great place you can get some ideas or refine some things that you've actually been thinking about. It's Saturdays at 1 o'clock. It's Experience Wisconsin. We check in with communities, people, events across the state, give you some super cool ideas of what you can do to get into summer. This week, we are joined by Manitowoc and iconic Ishnala Supper Club. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1 on WTMJ.
Hey, thanks, John. Hey, if you're looking for something to do tomorrow, you head off to Siding Unlimited. They've got their annual open house. This is a great time to connect with the people at Siding Unlimited, such wonderful people, and also product representatives for some of the great products you will find at Siding Unlimited, including Pella Windows and Doors, LP Smart Side Siding, the best in decking from TimberTech, and more. It is the place to be 9 to 1 tomorrow at Siding Unlimited, their showroom in Brookfield, 665 Larry Court. It's near Gerke's Corners, accessed via Barker Road. Stop in, check it out, be part of the open house, bring some ideas, bring some questions. Learn what I've been telling you for all these years. At Siding Unlimited, not only are they wonderful people, this family-run business, but they do incredible installation work. They've got the awards to prove it. Siding Unlimited's annual open house tomorrow, 9 to 1 at the Siding Unlimited showroom. Also included, the folks from Outdoor Living Unlimited. It's all part of the same family. They can expand your living space to the outdoors with a deck, or how about a beautiful paver patio? That's what they did for us, complete with pergola and gas fire pit. We spend a lot of time out there throughout the course of the year. Thanks to Siding Unlimited and Outdoor Living Unlimited. Their annual open house, Saturday from 9 to 1.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. Try the all-new energy refreshers, strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
Take your family to the amazing Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford for the all-you-can-eat Wednesday and Friday haddock fish fry for $8.99. Wow. You'll pay twice that elsewhere. Desserts or buy one, get one free. Google The Mine Shaft. Call and reserve your table, The Mine Shaft.
More clouds than sun today, high 68 degrees, overnight low 43. Clouds remain part of the picture. Sun tomorrow and Sunday. However, temperatures topping out in the mid to upper 60s, a little cooler near the lake. Should be a pretty nice weekend here. It's 68 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 2:14. Well, spring is here, and so is another season for the Stars and Stripes Honor Flight. Such an incredible initiative. The first flight of 2026, mission number 85, will depart from Milwaukee Saturday morning for Washington, D.C. Since 2008, Stars and Stripes Honor Flight has flown over 11,000 veterans to the nation's capital. Every year is a special year. Every flight is a special flight. And as the Honor Flight reminds us, every day is a blessing. We welcome in Karen Relke, the Vice President of Public Relations for Stars and Stripes Honor Flight. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Greg. How are you?
You're doing so well. It's such a wonderful thing to be a part of. I've been a part of it, and I know so many others in our listening audience have been a part of it. But it's always something new and special with Stars and Stripes Honor Flight kicking off another season. What is new and special this year? Who's going to be on that flight on Saturday?
We're really excited for our spring flight season. We've got 3 flights coming up, but Saturdays, of course, is imminent, and we're thrilled to welcome about 50 veterans and some really interesting stories. We've got a couple of World War II vets on that flight, which, we always wonder when our last World War II vet is going to fly with us. So they're both in their late 90s. One turns 100 in a month. And, they've got some great stories to tell, I'm sure.
That is so special. Karen, what do you notice is different about World War II veterans compared to other generations when they take these trips?
It's really interesting that there's really kind of a different feel with each group. The World War II vets, in some cases came home to the ticker tape parade, but often didn't. But I think it was a very shared mission. It was clear. They knew what they were fighting for, and it was really a team effort. Korea was kind of a misunderstood war, so the Korean veterans often came home to silence and disinterest. People just didn't know why they were there or what they were doing, so telling their stories is a great privilege as well. And then I think many of us know the Vietnam vets did not come home to the welcome home and the appreciation that they should have received. So it's really a blessing for us to finally give that to them as well.
Karen, do you notice that upon return? It's such a special time and moment when the plane lands back in Milwaukee and the veterans walk through the collection of folks who have made that a part of their day and welcoming those veterans back. Do you notice a difference in the reaction from the different groups that attend?
Sometimes, yes. World War II vets are really about family. So when their family is there, that's really a big deal for them. Korean and Vietnam vets just, I think, really appreciate the acknowledgement of their service so long ago. I think, a lot of our oldest vets think we've all moved on and have forgotten about what they sacrificed decades ago. So it's a beautiful thing to remind them that we still appreciate them, we understand their sacrifice, and that we're trying to share it with the younger generation.
It is such a beautiful moment at Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport when you see these veterans, whether you are there and ready to be a part of the welcome home or you just happen to be coming back from a flight and you stop to take part. It is just such a moving moment. I'm curious for you, what have veterans personally told you about how these honor flights, these trips, make a difference in their lives moving forward?
That's such a great question. We hear all the time that many of these, particularly Vietnam veterans, have not talked about their service for years. Some go out and join the local VFW or Legion Post, but many don't, and they've really packed those memories away. And I think it was probably about 5 or 6 years ago, we flew a Vietnam vet, combat vet, who had received a Bronze Star. And he ultimately, right before the flight, told his hunting buddies that he was going on the flight and that he had received a Bronze Star, and they were all stunned. And the day after his flight, he got up early in the morning, went down in the basement, dusted off a box, brought it out, and showed it to his wife, and it was all of his mementos from his service. And she said, I'd never seen any of it. And he told her, I feel like it's finally time that I can, now that I've gone on the honor flight, I can tell you these things, I can talk about it again.
Wow, Karen Relke joining us from Stars and Stripes Honor Flight. Do you have a recruitment focus, Karen? I know you're trying to fill these planes with as many veterans as possible and opening it up to as many folks who participated and served our country as possible. Is there a segment of the population you're specifically trying to reach?
Actually, there's a few. Thanks, Greg. There's, right now we're flying veterans who served in any location in June of 75 or earlier. And we know that there are not only combat vets who are worried about the experience, which I want to reassure them it's all full of love and joy and positivity, but also the Vietnam era veterans who maybe didn't serve in harm's way, but still, filled a very important role in the military, who think that it's only for combat vets. So certainly want to reach out to that group, and particularly our female veterans. A lot of women served during that time, and, certainly they were not drafted. So these are women who raised their hand and said, send me, I'll go and I'll help. And on our May flight, I think we have 5 or 6 women flying with us, and we're going to make a special trip to the Arlington Women's Memorial so that they can really have their moment to shine as well. So women vets, absolutely. All of our vets of color who maybe don't know too much about this experience, and definitely our Vietnam era veterans who think maybe they don't qualify because they weren't in harm's way.
So this weekend is going to be special. The May 30th flight going to be special as well, and then very exciting too, and for the same way but also a little bit different, the June 20th flight, the Flight of Championships. Who is that in partnership with this year?
Oh, you're the best, Jessica. Thank you. It's the Bucks, the Brewers, and the Packers. So our 3 favorite sports teams for the 7th time, the 7th year, are getting together to sponsor 3 planes, 2 out of Milwaukee, 1 out of Green Bay. So almost 200 vets will fly that day. So that's June 20th. And then we've got 1 single plane on May 30th with those ladies that we discussed, and then also this weekend. So it's really busy and great flight season for us.
So, Karen, if people are listening to this and they've got a veteran in their life and somebody that you maybe open the ears and eyes to with what Stars and Stripes Honor Flight is looking for, how do they get in contact? How do they sign up? Is there an application process? Can you walk through how that works?
I can, yes. They should go to starsandstripeshonorflight.org. There's an online application right there, free for the veterans. At this moment, it is still free for the guardians because of the generosity of an anonymous donor. So not sure how long that'll last, so they should sign up right away. And a Vietnam vet who signs up now will probably fly either late this fall or early next spring. Korean War vets and World War II vets go to the head of the line because they're they're our oldest vets, and time might be shorter in those cases. So definitely head to starsandstripeshonorflight.org. They can find out all kinds of information, our flight schedule, and then the applications are right there.
And Karen, real quickly before we let you go, if there's a veteran who's listening right now thinking, I would really love to do this, but my health is not the best, and I don't know if I can make it, what's your message to them?
We fly with a full medical team, not only physicians, but paramedics as well. We have wheelchairs for everyone on the flight. We can accommodate most health challenges. So I would encourage them to sign up and start the dialogue, and our medical team will work with them to make sure that they're safe and taken great care of on their flight day.
What can you tell folks who may want to pop off to the airport on Saturday night and as part of the welcome home? What are the details there?
Oh, we'd love to have them. So they should arrive around 7 p.m. At Mitchell Airport's upper level, so the main concourse. And if they park in the parking garage, those third-floor skywalks will take them right into the right spot. Bring flags and signs and their loudest cheers, and the plane will come back around 8 p.m. And then between that time, they can enjoy the Oak Creek High School Band. The only thing I'd advise them is anyone who needs to sit should bring a small folding chair because there aren't many chairs at the airport. So we'd love to see everybody Saturday night, 7 p.m. gather, 8 p.m. flight returns, and it's really going to be a great evening that we'll never forget.
Mission number 85 departs from Milwaukee Saturday morning for the nation's capital, the first flight of the 2026 Stars and Stripes Honor Flight season. Karen, have a great time. Have a great trip. Be part of that welcome back ceremony. It's going to be special, and thanks for joining us as always.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you both so much.
Yep, you bet. Karen Relke from Stars and Stripes Honor Flight. I had the privilege of doing this a few years ago, and it's hard to put into words what this day is really like. I mean, it's unbelievably special, and it's emotional. It's overwhelming at times for some of these veterans. And, I had a veteran, his name was Russ Maxwell, and we did this together. And I remember talking to him on the phone, and he's like, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And, I know what to expect. And he kind of went into it thinking that he kind of knew what was going to happen. And there were times where I caught up with him on the trip, and he said, I didn't know we were going to do this. I wasn't expecting that. And this is incredible. So even, some of the tales from veterans who return, and maybe they're talking to their friend groups or whatnot, unless you really do it and go through it, I don't know if you can fully appreciate just how special of a day it really is.
The stories they come back with, I mean, this is life-changing for a lot of these veterans. And there are some people, too, which, by the way, I didn't know, is that typical that you get a chance to talk with them ahead of time? Like those phone calls, do they suggest that?
Yep, so they recommend it unless you are, you know your guardian, you're the guardian for somebody. So it might be a family member or something like that, but it might be kind of a random match. So I signed up to be a guardian, and I was paired with Russ. So it was good to talk to him because I needed to know what he needed from me, right? Some are in wheelchairs or need help walking. Russ is able to walk around freely, so we kind of walked the monuments together and just got to know each other a little bit, so we weren't meeting each other for the first time at the airport at 5:30 in the morning. So that was great, right? I learned that he does coffee every Wednesday with another group of veterans in the Kenosha area, and then that's part of his routine at the Festival Foods in that area. So it was fun to get to know him, so we got to extend our relationship beyond just that one day.
I asked the question about health because I remember, and this is a long time ago now because my grandparents have all passed many, many years ago, but I do remember thinking it would be great to take my grandfather on the trip. One of my other grandfathers had already passed, but I thought, it would be so nice. But he was in declining health, and we weren't really sure he would make it. And so that's why I felt that question was important to ask, because I know there are some people out there who just listened to our interview who think the same thing. This is such an experience. I would like my loved one to go on it, but I'm just not sure if he or she can make it. So it's so nice to know that they really have people there who can help out. I mean, that's their role, right? I know not everybody can do it depending on health, but a lot of them can.
Well, and you're not sitting in D.C. traffic either. You get a police escort everywhere you go with Honor Flight when you're aboard that bus. And you know what? If that particular monument is, hey, you just kind of feeling a little tired, you stay in the bus. It's air conditioned. They got lunch for you and snacks. I mean, they really go out of their way to make it as comfortable an experience and as moving an experience as possible. It's a wonderful, wonderful tribute.
And to see them come back, if you were there for that homecoming, that is so moving. I remember one time I was coming off a flight and just happened to be right there. And I thought, it was late. It was pretty late, too. And a lot of times they do get back late. And I thought, I'm staying. I got to see this. And you can just tell as soon as they walk off and they look at everybody and they see it. You've got little kids and you've got sometimes family members and strangers who are there to welcome them home. And it just means so much to them.
It's a wonderful, wonderful thing happening this weekend. 2:26 news coming up.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Did you sleep well last night? It's Sleep Awareness Month. Jessica Ty for Steinhafels. Invest in the sleep your body deserves and get $300 in Steinhafels cash with a Tempur-Pedic mattress purchase. At Steinhafels, experience the unmatched comfort and support of Tempur-Pedic mattresses designed to adapt to your body and help you wake up feeling refreshed. Upgrade your sleep experience when you add a smart base that automatically adjusts to snoring. How great is that? Because better nights lead to better days. Celebrate Sleep Awareness Month and sleep better. Relax. It's Steinhafels.
Hey, John Mercure here for Griffin's Hub Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram in Milwaukee. A great car buying experience. Big news. Check this out. The Hemi V8 is back in the 2026 Ram 1500. You can get it right now at Griffin's Hub, right now with lots of selections. If you love power, performance, and capability, you got to check this out. They've also got 130 pre-owned vehicles with prices starting around $69.95. There's something for every budget. They're going to work hard to put you in the vehicle that you need and that you deserve. Need versatility? How about the Chrysler Pacifica with available all-wheel drive, perfect for Wisconsin roads and all the different seasons. They've got Spanish-speaking staff ready to help. Se habla español at Griffin. Plus, they'll buy your current vehicle fast and easy, pay you top buck, and the service department is top tier. Recall work, oil change, everything in between. Griffin's Hub on South 27th Street, selection, value, and service, all in one place.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
The Milwaukee Auto Show is back, bolder and better. At its new location, you'll see the newest everyday favorites, sleek luxury cars, rugged trucks, and fuel-efficient hybrids for more than 25 brands. Plus, test drive several new models right at the show. Bring the family, invite your friends. There's fun for all ages. Kids 12 and under are free. The Milwaukee Auto Show, the 14th through the 17th at Wisconsin State Fair Park Expo Center with discounted parking. Tickets at autoshowmilwaukee.com.
It's 2:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, April 24th. Your top story, Menards paying millions for a workplace injury.
I'm Jessica Ty. The largest gaming trade show comes right here to Milwaukee.
Pretty nice day. Just a straight chance of a shower today and this evening. Mostly cloudy, a low of 43 after a high of 68. Sunny on Saturday and Sunday for that matter. High of 65 degrees on both days, 58 near Lake Michigan.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt now says the U.S. will send a delegation to Pakistan this weekend in an effort to restart peace talks with Iran. A Pakistani official tells ABC News if indirect discussions go well tomorrow, direct talks could happen as soon as Sunday. It comes as the U.S. sends another aircraft carrier to the region to assist with the blockade at the Strait of Hormuz. Leavitt also commenting on the Department of Justice, which is dropping its investigation into Fed Chair Jerome Powell. The DOJ had been examining renovations at Fed headquarters.
This has obviously been a priority for the president. If you drive by the Fed building, the president has a point. This is a project that's been going on for a very long time. It's costing taxpayers billions of dollars, and I think it's in the best interest of the taxpayer to get to the bottom of it. So the investigation still continues. It's just under a different authority, and that's what you'll continue to see.
Powell's term as Fed chair is up next month. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 2:31. A jury awards a truck driver $5.5 million in a workplace injury against Menards. In Eau Claire, court records show the man was struck in the head by metal pallets while a temporary worker operated a forklift at a Menards distribution center. The driver suffered serious head injuries that required emergency surgery and left him with permanent injuries. Menards denies responsibility, saying the load may have fallen on its own. The jury placed full responsibility on Menards and its operator.
Opioid overdose deaths in Milwaukee County are down more than 50% over the last 4 years. That's significant. Chief Health Policy Advisor for the county, Dr. Ben Weston, right here on Wisconsin's Midday News.
So we're making real progress. We're seeing an overall decline in opioid-related deaths. But the fact of the matter is, it's not enough. We still have somebody dying almost every single day of an opioid overdose. So it's not time to end the work. It's time to look at what works and really scale that up and have the maximal impact that we can.
Weston says additional funding for stable housing and access to health care has helped reduce overdoses here.
A settlement reached in a tragic school bus accident in Sussex. 5-year-old Finn Katona killed last year when he was struck by a school bus. Attorney Timothy Trachek says the family's focus is now on safety improvements, including a new initiative called Finn's Rule, which aims to prevent similar tragedies.
Importantly, Finn's Rule will also be introduced and shared with a number of other national school bus companies. which will increase the potential reach and scope of Finn's rule to more than 130,000 school bus drivers nationally.
Along with the new safety training, bus drivers will receive a laminated card with reminders to be aware of danger zones and blind spots.
Speaking of zones, heads up drivers, there's going to be a new work zone at the Mitchell interchange, and it starts tonight with a closure on a key ramp.
So this would be the I-94 southbound to 894 westbound movement. That's scheduled to close beginning Friday, April 24th at 9 p.m.
Eric Hansen from the DOT says this closure is tied to maintenance work meant to preserve the Mitchell interchange.
This is part of our backbone program, so the work on the Mitchell interchange is scheduled maintenance to keep that interchange functional since we rebuilt it in the late 2000s.
The closure will remain in place through 6 a.m. Sunday morning. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
From video games to pinball, over 10,000 games on display at the Baird Center in downtown Milwaukee. The Midwest Gaming Classic is the largest gaming trade show in the Midwest. Show director Matt Isbell tells Wisconsin's Morning News.
So you can find everything from, the Commodore 64, DJ, to the newest stuff, too. So if you're looking for stuff for the new Xbox, new Nintendo Switch, they'll have it there, too. And you can just find anything and everything in that vendor hall.
The Midwest Gaming Classic is celebrating its 25th year in southeast Wisconsin. Runs through Sunday.
What moves will the Packers make this weekend? Sports, traffic, and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Do you love the way your home looks? When you pull in, do you think, wow, the old homestead looks fantastic? Or do you notice that the siding's all faded and the roof is kind of falling apart? Well, Tri-County Contracting can help make it look the way you truly want it and make you love it. The website is tricountycontractingwi.com. It's roofing, siding, and windows that'll make you love your home again. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
In 2027, the world's most captivating stories come to life with Fox Group Vacations and Insight Vacations. From the refined charm of France and the Greek islands to the historic warmth of southern Italy and the mysteries of Dracula's castle in Romania, our journeys go beyond the postcard. Enjoy the premium comfort, curated dining, and authentic local connections alongside a community of friends. Elevate your 2027 travel plans. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com to book today.
She walked miles with her granddaughters every day at Disney with zero knee pain, but she couldn't have done that months ago. This all started with a visit to QC Kinetics.
We have spent the last 4 days going from park to park, walking all day long, no pain. I feel fantastic.
Here's what baffles people when they hear Kathy's story.
The doctor said, you need 2 full knee replacements. And I said, that's not going to happen. I went to QC Kinetics, started treatment that day. Within a couple of weeks, I was absolutely pain-free.
It's the kind of story that QC Kinetics hears from patients all the time.
I cannot thank QC Kinetics enough for giving me my life back. I'm active again and loving it. I'm well over a year out. I've had absolutely no pain in either knee.
Before you agree to surgery, listen to this. Think about it.
Tomorrow is Animal Kingdom, so yeah, gotta go.
Kathy's glad she took them up on the free consultation. We have one set aside for you.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559.
We demand a lot of our shoulders and hands, our hips and knees, our backs and feet. They do life's heavy lifting, so we owe them the greatest attention in return. The Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network provides expert orthopedic and spine care to help you move, lift, turn, and reach with the most possible ease. Whether you have a sports-related injury or a nagging condition that just won't go away, excellence should always be an option. So we make our care available in nearby locations and offer same-day ortho and spine appointments when relief can't wait. It's how to recover quicker, prevent small concerns from becoming big ones, and solve complex issues with the expertise you can only get with academic medicine. We're given just one body, so let's tend to it, check in on it. Let's give it the greatest of care, because when it's tuned up and injury-free, we can always be pushing ahead. To learn more about our nationally recognized orthopedic and spine care, visit froedtert.com/ortho.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Packers GM Brian Gutekunst not second-guessing the trade for Micah Parsons that sent the Packers' first-round pick to the Cowboys.
Looking back and doing what we did, I think I don't think there's any players that were in this draft that can compete with that one.
As it stands, the Packers' first pick in this year's draft will be tonight, number 52 overall in round 2. Rounds 2 and 3 will be completed this evening in Pittsburgh. And it's the Brewers and Pirates tonight. Speaking of Pittsburgh, from American Family Field, coverage gets underway at 6:05. Brandon Woodruff and Paul Skeens, your pitching matchup.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. One crash is cleared and a new one has popped up. The crash out in the Pewaukee area is clear, and now we have a new one in Milwaukee County. It's in a busy spot, 4145 South at Silver Spring Drive. Let me take a peek here at the cameras and pull this up. This just happened. It looks like an emergency responder just pulled up as well. I do see 2 cars off to the side, and oh man, you've got the traffic legit. One of the lanes, everybody's stopped. They're not even moving at all. So this is definitely going to quickly create a backup. The good news, emergency responders already at the scene. This isn't a construction zone. You've got the barrels off to the side. 2 cars are off right in the middle of the barrels right now. But yes, we've got the left lane of traffic. And I just watched this one guy get out real quick right in front of a semi like, nope, I'm going to get over here in this lane that's actually moving. So, heads up here, 4145 South at Silver Spring Drive. You've got the left shoulder blocked due to a brand new crash.
Comfortable temperatures, not a lot of sun today, however. High 68, overnight low 43 with clouds. Saturday and Sunday, carbon copies. Mid-60s, your high inland 58 closer to Lake Michigan. It's currently 68 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 2:39. Well, it's one of the fastest growing sports in America at the youth level. It's flag football, and more specifically, girls flag football. Beginning in the fall of 2026, the Girls NFL Flag Football League will launch, and it features schools from Kenosha and Racine Unified Districts and also Whitefish Bay. Girls flag football. It's not a sanctioned sport at the WIAA just yet, but there is someone who is working to change that. It's Packers Hall of Famer Donald Driver joining us on the line. Hey, Donald.
How you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
This is so cool, right? Everything you touch seems to turn to gold, so it's only a matter of time, perhaps, that this really launches in full. But what inspired you to get behind this initiative of growing the sport of flag football for girls?
Yeah, no, I'll say this. It started back in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know, I'm in Dallas, and so we wanted to kind of kick flag football off in the state, and Texas had so many people doing it, but Oklahoma didn't have it. And so I went down and said, hey, listen, you know, met with the school district, those are public schools, and say, hey, would you guys consider doing an all-girls flag league for every high school? And they said, what do you mean? And we started trying to say, like, putting it all together, and I talked about, you know, there was 19 schools at the time, 19 universities that was offering NAIA schools, junior college with offering scholarships. And so we felt like this was a great opportunity for girls to have a different platform. And so they said, well, if you want to try it, let's try it. And so we're going on 3 years. We've had over 375 girls play this game. We've had, every single year we have 6 girls to 12 girls get scholarships to go play flag football. This year we got 9 girls coming out of Oklahoma that's going to go and play, college flag football that wasn't even planning on going to college. It was like, hey, Mr. Driver, without this opportunity, this wouldn't have happened. And so we really started trying to figure out, like, what was next? Like, who do we touch next? And so the talks to Wisconsin had been especially for Racine, had been in talks for like the last 2 years. And I think, you know, they were like, we just got to make sure this is going to work for us. And we brought it to Racine United and started talking about, like, how do we take this to the next level? Would you guys consider it? And they said yes. And so now this fall season, we'll actually have a fall season with, at least 6 to 9 schools playing. And this gives these girls another opportunity.
This is so exciting for the young ladies, but I'm curious for you, why is this mission so important to you personally?
Well, I have 2 daughters, right? And, and my kids, I've realized this too, like, women just get overlooked, and I think for me, I was made by a woman. My mom was my hardship, my grandmother. And I think for that, it's like, how do you continue to show, women that you're here to support them? And me having 2 daughters, I see that. I see my daughters get overlooked all the time. My son doesn't, right? He gets all the, the bells and whistles, and my daughters doesn't get that. And so I wanted to give my daughters another platform. My middle daughter, Christina, is running track at the University of St. Thomas in Minnesota. The good thing about it is if she decides to, after track, decides to do flag football, she gets 4 extra years to come back and compete in this game. And then Charity is now going to play in high school. You know, she's already a great volleyball player and basketball player and great track athlete. But this just gives her another opportunity that if none of those work out, she still has a fourth one. And so when you have something like that you're passionate about, then you move forward. And so I think what I've been able to do with a program called Surge, Empowering Women in Sports, they made me the chief motivation officer. I'm the only male figure that's a part of their program. You know, Nancy Lieberman is an ambassador. Allison Smith is the swimmer is an ambassador, but I'm the only male. And it's because I really care for women's sports. And so we want this to be the next platform. And I think when women see that men care, and they're there to support them, they're going to do everything in their power to achieve those goals. And so I want the women to know and the ladies in this world to know that I am here for you because I see you.
This is growing at the college level. Just this spring, UW-Oshkosh launched its women's flag football team. I got an email quite literally today from Lawrence University saying they're going to launch a women's flag football team beginning in 2027. But this is still not sanctioned by the WIAA yet, Donald. It's growing, no doubt, and high schools are interested. How do you get it to the WIAA level where you could have a state competition in Division 1, 2, 3, and so on?
I think you have to prove it. You have to prove the concept, right? And I think we've done that in Tulsa. And I think sooner or later they're going to sanction that state. We have to prove it here. And I think with the community support and the girls that really want to play this game and really launch it in the racing, you know, and that's where we're going to start it first. I think once we get the schools, you know, going and we have this first inaugural season, I think it's only going to grow. And then you're going to start hearing about other clubs that want to be a part of it and other high schools, and we're just going to continue to bring it. And then we'll, who knows? We've run one of the largest tournaments right here in the state of Wisconsin. And if you do that, then you're going to get girls from Chicago and Michigan and Minnesota, and they're going to start coming this way because they have an opportunity to play this game where they may not have the opportunity right now.
Donald, how much has the Olympic sport announcement changed the game for girls flag football?
I think a lot of people is just kind of unaware, Jess. I think that was the uneducated in it. They're like, well, what is this? What are we doing? And I think now with the word coming out that it's going to be Olympic sport in 2028, and now it will be a collegiate opportunity in 2027. I think it's just this opportunity for growth. And I think a lot of people, as they continue to learn more and more about flag football and know that it's just not a male sport, that is actually a more powerful than the female sport, then people will start taking the initial steps to make this thing move faster and move forward. And so I just want to be a small token in that opportunity. And I really want to partner with the states that are not sanctioned. It's not about the ones that's already sanctioned. Those are the ones that's moving forward, and those girls are getting those opportunities. But the girls that's not sanctioned are the ones that don't get the opportunity. So, this is where we got to start, and this is where we got to, make things happen.
And at some point, who knows, there might even be a draft for a flag football league at the professional level. I bring it up, Donald, because, of course, it is draft week here at the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Can you take us back to 1999? What was draft week like for you? Did you expect to get a phone call from any team?
I expect to get a phone call from somebody, I guess, but, never knew what that opportunity was going to be. And for me, it was, I talked to the Kansas City Chiefs. I ended up talking to the 49ers. And never thought in a million years that it would be the Green Bay Packers that I would go on to have a stellar career with, right? And so Alonzo Highsmith, I take my hat off to him because without him telling Ron Wolf that he should draft me, I don't think I would ever got drafted. And with Ted Thompson. So I think, he really pushed for me to say, hey, we have a kid in a small, the small state of Mississippi that you need to go see from Lorman, Mississippi. And he came down there just by himself. And I worked out for him, and I told him, I said, listen, if the Packers draft me, I promise you I won't let them down. Not in a million years thought I would ever get drafted by the Packers, but I think God had a plan for me. He had a plan for me to come to the state of Wisconsin, to play here, and to leave a impact. And so I'm glad that the Packers drafted him. I'm glad they gave me this opportunity because now I can sit back and smile knowing that I've left everything right here in the state of Wisconsin.
Back in 1999, you were a 7th-round pick. Donald, you were a steal. I mean, we had no idea.
Ron Wolf says that all the time, right? No, I totally agree with you. I think Ron said they asked him all the time, like, who was the biggest steal for you ever in the draft? And he's always said it was like Donald Driver. He said he didn't even expect me to go on and have a stellar career like I did, right? But he was the one who believed on me that I can make this team. And so that's the story that we've always told together. He gave me, I got a jacket from him when I made the team. And then when I got inducted to the Packers Hall of Fame, he inducted me into the Hall of Fame, but I gave him that jacket back. 20-some years later, right? Because it shows that, relationships build everything. And when you have somebody that truly believes in you, then you work your butt off to prove that, hey, I'm not going to ever let you down. And so I had to thank him and honor him for that. And that's the same thing we're doing right now for flag football.
Packers fans are so lucky to have you. The community is so lucky to have you, the entire state, because you have continued to give back and you have such a great personality. Would you be the same person who you are today if you were drafted in the first round back then?
I don't know. I will tell you, I really don't, because, I'll be honest, I was living a different life, back then. And so I don't think I would have been. And I think I wouldn't have been the same person, 100%. I think I would have got so much money in that first round that I wouldn't be probably talking to you guys today. I don't know if I'd be dead or in jail, because I would have been doing some stupid stuff. But I always tell people this is it was the lady that I've been married to now for 26 years. She gave me an ultimatum to stop doing the things that I was doing if I wanted to be with her. And it's been amazing, because I never would have thought that I have 3 amazing kids when I didn't want kids, right? And now I have 3 that I couldn't see myself without them, and I have an amazing wife. So without her, I don't think I would be here. So I think, first round would have probably changed the whole different, perspective of what my life would have become.
Smart lady, your wife.
Yes, she is. I got to give her credit for that one.
Donald, was there some question when you were finishing up college if pro football was going to be your path versus track? I mean, you qualified for the Olympic trials in 1996. You still have the record at Alcorn State for the high jump at 7 feet 6.5 inches. I mean, that's Olympic caliber. Was there ever a thought that track is my path and not football?
No, I didn't think track was. I mean, I loved it. I had fun doing it, but I wanted to play football. My dad played football and didn't get the opportunity to reach his dreams. Right? He had to go back home and work take care of the family. That's just kind of what you do when you're the oldest of 10 kids, and so he never reached it. And so I think he lived his dream through me, and so I wanted to do this. And so if not, then I was going to I had the opportunity to go work at an accounting department, because that's what I got my degree in, was accounting. So I was going to work at an accounting firm, and maybe one day I would open up my own. But God had a different plan for me to go play for the Packers.
Well, you can still supply that dream of opening up your own accounting practice, if you really want
Next
to.
chapter.
I'm sure you could figure it out. Oh, man, it is so awesome to connect with you, Donald. Thanks for all that you continue to do here in the state of Wisconsin and beyond, really. You're helping support so many wonderful community initiatives, and we love seeing your face on TV and more so talking to you. And I'm looking forward to this flag football thing really taking off. I've told my daughters, hey, if you really want to get on the train here, get on the flag football train, because by the time you get to high school, I think this is going to be a big deal. And you might be one of the main reasons why, Donald.
Well, I appreciate that, Greg. Thank you guys so much for everything you guys do as well, right? I think it takes a village to get to where we want to go in this world. And so without you guys doing what you're doing every single day and spreading the word, I think, we wouldn't be where we are. So I appreciate you guys having me on. Jess, I love you. Thank you for being on as well.
Thanks so much. We appreciate it, Donald.
Appreciate it, pal. We love you, too. We'll talk soon.
All right. Bye.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. As the days get longer and Wisconsin weather shifts, it's a good time to check your home's comfort. If your house felt drafty this winter, it may be time for an upgrade. Hometown offers energy-efficient windows and doors from Bella, Marvin, Anderson, and more. All on display in their New Berlin showroom, all installed by Hometown employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, or Fibrex, they have options for every budget. Call my friends today at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
If you've been hurt in an accident, it can really flip your world upside down. The folks at Gruber Law Offices completely understand this. They will work for you. They'll fight your legal battle while you focus on healing. Greg Matzik here for my friends at Gruber Law Offices, a family-run business, but a large and powerful team that will fight your legal battle for you. With results that speak for themselves over the past 40 years. Gruber serving those here in southeastern Wisconsin and throughout the state for that matter. If you've been hurt in an accident, it really is just a one-call, that's-all situation. Check out gruber-law.com. Learn about this firm and how they can help you. Also, recognize what they do in the community, supporting a number of wonderful community initiatives throughout the course of a given year. That's the deal with Gruber. Gruber-law.com. Phone number 414-276-6666.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Call for your free weight loss consultation. 262-449-1180. That's 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Your email said you had a big surprise.
Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for.
Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore, just $998.
Or $1498 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
Heads up for you real quickly, a new traffic alert for you. This is out in Waukesha County right now. 164 North is closed. Completely closed at I-94 West right now because of a crash. So heads up there. That's 164 North closed at I-94 West because of a crash. And Debbie Lazaga will keep you updated throughout the afternoon news coming up real shortly here.
2:55 on WTMJ. We are just about out of time here. Reminder that Wisconsin's Midday News podcast is built by Siding Unlimited and available wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe and take us with you wherever you go. And a reminder, we're also on YouTube, streaming our show every day. You can pop into the studio with us, Wisconsin's Midday News. Wisconsin's afternoon news is coming up. Don't forget Brewers baseball tonight. Coverage against the Pirates begins at 6:05.
It's early in the year, but if you want that outdoor living project, that dream outdoor oasis started, you need to visit Outdoor Living Unlimited's amazing showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. Nobody has a showroom like it. Bring your ideas, get new ideas.